Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to the United Stand, another watch along. It's Manchester United against West Ham United in the FA Cup at Old Trafford for a place in the Carabao. No, not the Carabao. We've won that in the place of the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. So how are we all doing? We're sponsored by Manscaped. You can get 20% off and free worldwide shipping by scanning the QR code next to me or by using the code Goldbridge United Stand in the video description. 20% off. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But evening from Romania, says Clow. Evening, pal. Let's have a look at the Manchester United lineup tonight. I think there's a few potential shocks actually in this team tonight, because I'd heard that Jadon Sancho wasn't part of the squad, and he's not even on the bench, so I don't know what the situation is with Jadon Sancho. Marcus Rashford hasn't started. I think that was predictable, but he's changed quite a lot, and what I want to know is how much of that team did I get right, because I think I've picked the whole 11. I think I've picked the whole 11. I'm not worthy. Shannock says you got the lineup exactly correct. So I don't even have to look at my computer. I can come to the live chat here. I mean, look, I never thought I would get that right. Never in a million years did I think I was going to get that right. So I'm not going to take any credit. I mean, I was right, but I never thought I was going to get that right. It's not officially come out on our stat partner yet, so we'll go back to Manscaped. But let's go through that lineup. So it's De Gea in goal, Dalot, Maguire, Lindelof, Malacia, McTominay, Sabitzer and Bruno, Anthony, Garnacho and Weghorst. So no place for Casemiro, no place for Luke Shaw, as we know he's probably got an injury, no place for Marcus Rashford, he is on the bench. So the Manchester United bench is Tom Heaton, Martinez, Varane, Wan-Bissaka, Casemiro. Fred is on the bench. There was talk about a bit of a knock for him. Pellistri, Elanga and Rashford. So no Jadon Sancho. Don't know what the situation is with that. Potentially it's an injury. But I still think we should be good enough to win this game. I've played the game and I still think we should be good enough to win the game. But I don't have a massive problem with the amount of changes we've made as well. I think you've got to make changes. Based on the amount of games that we've got to come, Liverpool coming up at the weekend, and I would hope that we would still win this game anyway. So look, at the end of the day, that's the team. Are you confident, Mark? I am. SOS, the Brazilian flop is starting 11, says B. And happy birthday to me in India, but please stress on Glazers out on every tweet. So Sushrit, happy birthday, pal. Bruno needs a rest. He's our engine. Bruno Fernandes is he's not an engine. He's a robot. I don't know how he manages to play every single game. Bruno Fernandes is playing. Love the jumper, says Lee. Yep, you can get it on the website. The United Stand. No, not on the website. On our Shopify page. United Stand Shopify. Only my second time wearing this, but he's not actually playing today, so he's on the bench. But kickoff is at 7:45 UK time, so we're about 55 minutes away from the start. So make sure you smash a like and subscribe, of course. Yeah, so let me know what you think about the team. I'm intrigued by it. I think it's the right thing to do. Not going to lie, I'm pretty pleased with it. I think that ultimately, you've got to make changes. You've got to rotate the team. I think the changes are the right one. I never felt that Marcus Rashford would be playing in this game. So I've got to say I'm pretty pleased with it. So let us know what your thoughts are on that. But yeah, I think he's got it right, and I think that it should be enough. I mean, I think the interesting thing is, I'm just trying to get it. Many changes, but we should win with that lineup. Yeah, I mean, you've got Marcus Rashford on the bench, but you've got Bruno Fernandes starting. Harry Maguire starts as captain, which is probably going to annoy a few people, but he is the club captain. He's always going to be the captain when you're playing a game like this. I still find it a little bit awkward, but it's happened at many clubs where the club captain plays, they are the captain. So I'm not going to spend any time thinking about that. But I feel that we've got what we need to go and get a result. I mean, it's a completely different back four to what we used to, let's be honest. And the midfield with McTominay in it and Sabitzer and Bruno is a different midfield. Let's have a look at the West Ham side. So Areola, Johnson, Agard, Agbona, Emerson, Rice, Soucek, Paqueta, Fornells, Antonio and Benrahma. It's reasonably strong. It's a strong midfield. It's going to be a real test for McTominay and Sabitzer to get hold of that midfield against Rice, Soucek and Paqueta. But having said that, they're not playing particularly well this season either. So I think that there is a real opportunity for Manchester United. We are at home. We should be able to win. Most rotation we've ever seen from Ten Hag is Joshua. And yeah, you're right, Joshua, and as well. I'm pleased about that because if you're tuning in a little bit late, if you didn't see the preview, why not? The preview for the United stand is always very good. And I always do a predicted lineup. I had no idea that he was going to go. I got it 11 out of 11. And I said on that preview, I'll be lucky if I get 6 or 7 right. To get 11 out of 11 is amazing. But it also shows that Ten Hag is probably thinking the same things that we're thinking. That you've got to take Casemiro, Varane, Martinez, Luke Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, Fred, Rashford. You've got to take them out of the lineup because they've just played 2 massive games against Barcelona and Newcastle in the space of 3 days. You're starting them tonight. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's Wednesday today. It was Thursday that we played Barcelona. So you're asking those same players to play 3 games in 6 days. Only I think Bruno is capable of doing that, and I don't know how he does it. So I think the rotation is the right thing to do. And obviously we've got a massive game at the weekend. And of Liverpool are playing tonight as well. So there could be an advantage by not playing lots of our players tonight. Maguire, Lindelof and McTominay. This is the first time I've been scared in a while, says Ben. Yeah, look, I don't want to concede the game. I don't want to concede the game. I think I said this time last week, if we beat Barcelona and Newcastle, I don't really care what happens against West Ham. But that's the genius of being a winner, is that you want to keep winning. So I agree with Ghost 98. You've got to rotate. I don't want to see us lose today. But you know what? I think what we might get is a really good game out of this. We might get a really good game because actually it might be a bit of a leveller in the game. It might make it a little bit more of a leveller. So there's the team for Manchester United. It's up on the screen now. It might level things out a little bit. It might make West Ham a little bit more confident. It might open the game up a little bit. You know, you look at that back four and you look at Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof and you think there is a vulnerability there against Antonio. You look at the midfield of McTominay and Sabitzer against Soucek and Rice and you think there might be a bit of a vulnerability there. Our front three isn't necessarily as strong as it could be. It hasn't got Marcus Rashford in it. So, look, it could end up being a good game. I don't mind if it's 2-1 and we get a late winner. I don't want to see it. I think it goes straight to penalties. Correct me if I'm right. Foxalini, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. My score prediction is 2-0 to Manchester United. I'm not going to change it. But I think it goes straight to penalties. And I think that the draw is straight after the game as well. Now, here's an interesting point from Nishal. He says, what's the point of signing Butland? But Bruno Fernandes is playing, Nishal. Like, we're not completely playing the reserves. Tom Heaton is the bench player. I understand that, MKF. But the reality is, it is on ITV as well. I quite like the way... and if Irwin says, I think West Ham's formation is too strong. So let's have a look at West Ham. But I quite like the fact, I would do this as well. I mean, like, look, I wanted Ten Hag. You know that. A lot of you did want Ten Hag. But the thing I love about Ten Hag is we haven't had a manager... probably since, well, certainly since Sir Alex Ferguson, that is so in tune with the way I think, and I hope some of you think it, but maybe not. But it's amazing. Like, I wouldn't rest De Gea. I know Mourinho did it, I know Van Gaal did it, but I wouldn't rotate De Gea in the Europa League and in the Carabao Cup and in the FA Cup, because we all know that De Gea is an absolutely fantastic shot stopper, but we also want De Gea to improve his distribution, and he is improving. So the more games you play him, the better he gets. Playing him with different back fours, it's you can't beat real game practice, and I think it's advantageous to keep playing De Gea. What do you learn by playing Tom Heaton? Nothing. He's never going to be the number one, and he's never going to be the backup keeper. What do you get from playing Butland? Nothing. He's on loan. So I actually agree. Keep playing De Gea, because next season we might have the understudy, in which case then you have got to rotate. But in the meantime, you may as well just keep developing De Gea, who is fantastic. And actually, maybe they are going to penetrate our back four a few times today. We got De Gea in goal, he might make the save. Howie says, welcome to Members Club. Hi Mark, you said this morning that Martial may not be back until April. The only positive with that is there's only 2 league games in March. Yeah, I don't know whether you've realised this, everybody, but we've only got 2 league games left now before April, because we play Liverpool at the weekend, then we play Betis, then we play Southampton in the league, then we play Betis, and then the final weekend before the international break, we should have been playing Brighton on the Sunday. That's been postponed because Brighton won last night. If we get knocked out tonight, I don't know whether we'll have to rearrange the Brentford game for that weekend, unless Brentford is still in the FA Cup, in which case we'd have a weekend off. But of course, if we win tonight, we'll be playing in the FA Cup as well. So we could end up getting knocked out tonight and having an extra week off. But Kingsley thinks we're going to lose this game. Well, there's the West Ham team. You know what the United side is. De Gea in goal, Dalot, Maguire, Lindelof, Malacia, McTominay, Sabitzer, Bruno, Garnacho, Anthony and Weghorst. I think that's a weak United side. Yeah, of course it is. It has to be a weak side when you think about the players that aren't playing. I mean, for a start, we haven't got that trilogy. We haven't got the Bermuda Triangle that just swallows everything up and doesn't let it out. Casemiro, Varane and Martinez. So we are weaker. Of course we are. But this is what the squad's all about. This is what rotation's all about. They've got to go out there and prove that they can get a result. I think it's a big chance for Scott McTominay and Harry Maguire to show what they're all about. One of the best things that happened under Ten Hag, and hopefully we can see is more, is giving the youth some game time. Garnacho, Mainu and Palestri. Well, that's who we are, Ahab. That's what we do. That's who we are. Thank you for the channel and telling the truth, says Joshua. Thank you very much, mates. I appreciate that. Thanks for... can I just say as well, thanks to everyone who saw my tweet and replied to it. So... Gabby Igblong-Lahore used to play for Aston Villa and he's on TalkSport. He does talk a lot of nonsense in my opinion, but I take it in a banter way and I tend to call it out when I see it on Twitter. So he was basically saying, there was a clip I saw this morning that Manchester United fans didn't sing much at Wembley and just taking the piss out of us really. So I just replied and said, it's great, I love this, I can't wait, I love all the bitters being rattled. He's put a tweet out this evening saying that Mark Goldbridge is born in Nottingham and lives in Birmingham, yet supports Manchester United. Make it make sense. And I mean, I just quote tweeted it and said, "Tell me you didn't vote for tell me you voted for Brexit by not telling me you voted for Brexit." I mean, how many people are in this chat who weren't born in Manchester? It's ridiculous. In the year 2023, I had a few Newcastle fans taking a pop at me about this as well. I find it hilarious. I find it absolutely hilarious. That is that all you've got? I wasn't born in Manchester. I mean, I don't even know where to start with that sort of an opinion, but it might expose you a little bit to the sort of person you are about outsiders. End of the day, our rotated game are in most seasoned internationals. West Ham are not in great form. FA Cup probably not their priority. We're at home, bring it on. I say, says Smoggy. Yeah, and we've got the home crowd. You're exactly right. SK says we can win by just being solid defensively, but it's a test for the squad. I personally would like to have seen Maino. I feel he could handle this game, says SK. Sancho's not on the bench too. If anybody knows what the situation is with Sancho, Aziz has just said that. I don't know. I presume he's got an injury. I mean, that's a blow for United. We knew that obviously Martial's injured, Eriksen is injured. We know that Luke Shaw had picked up a knock. We'd heard that Fred might be a doubt, but what's the story with Jadon Sancho? But having said that, in some ways, what have we always said on this channel? Have a little bit of patience. Apparently he's ill, says Lars. Have a bit of patience. I mean, I tell you what, Jadon Sancho does get ill a lot. I'm not saying anything sinister about that, but he has been ill a lot. I think he's been ill about 4 or 5 times in his time at United. And when I say ill, you know, like he's had tonsillitis and stuff like that. I wonder if he's got an issue, like, because I mean, years ago I used to go to school with somebody who played football for us, and he always was getting tonsillitis. He had to have his tonsils out. So, I mean, maybe there's an underlying problem there with Jayden, because of its illness. I mean, it might just be unlucky, but certainly would have been involved in this game today. The old days of dancing with Pogba in the locker room is long gone. It's a new beginning in terms of mentality and progress, and we are now united, says the Moose. Thanks for your super chats tonight. You can do that through the super chat option, of course. Appreciate that. The Chuckle Brothers are back, says Daniel. You're one of the smartest and most loyal United fans in the world. Some idiots on Twitter won't change that, says Shahin. Don't worry, mate. I'm well used to that by now. Mark, but thanks for the support. Nelson says, Mark, I thought of you yesterday when I was chased by a gaggle of geese on the disc golf course and my friend ended up hitting one in the feathers, says Nelson. Yeah, I've had a bad experience with geese. Mark, let the haters hate. It's worse for haters. I pity them. I love the international community. Love United, says Mark. Look, I'll say it again. When people are taking a pop at us for stuff like that and other stuff, and apparently our fans... what trophy is this, by the way? Can somebody tell me what trophy it is when you think your fans sang louder than ours? I mean, for one, the United away fans are the best in the world, as far as I'm concerned. They're certainly, they're amazing. And you know why they're the best in the world? It's not because they're the loudest. It's not because they've got the best banter, and I think they've got those things. They're the best away fans in the world because when Moyes was clearly shit, they still sang for him. When Van Gaal was clearly finished, they still sang for him. When Jose Mourinho and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer were clearly done, they still sang for him. That's what makes our fan base great. There ain't many fan bases that do that. And I'm not saying I agreed with it at the time, but that's what makes our away fans great. So, for one, we ain't Man City. For two, who gives a shit if Newcastle fans sang more than us? Did they win the trophy? No, we did. I do not want to lose to Newcastle and then be sat there a few days later going, well, at least we sang louder. I couldn't give a toss. Give credit where credit's due. Newcastle have got an amazing fan base. It's not like what Man City have got, where Newcastle have got a huge fan base. I saw today, actually, that Man City have had plans to extend their stadium. I'm not joking. I'm not joking here. Why are they extending their stadium when they can't fill it? It's like a virgin getting a king-size bed. What, to roll around in? Like, you're never going to get anyone else in there with you. So, I don't get it. I don't get it. And I'm not even taking the piss out of Man City there. You cannot fill your current ground. Why are you extending it? I don't get it. My dad was born in Manchester. Me and Brum, I can still support Man United, says Umzi. And I would have thought Agbonlahor would want to follow up his mediocre playing career with a somewhat competent punditry career. I thought wrong, says Sean. Drew, thank you very much for your super chat. Appreciate that. And Agbonlahor is from Birmingham but played for Watford and Sheffield on loan. How dare he have the nerve to play for a non-Midlands team? Tut, says Jake Marshall. Exactly. Wow, it's just stupid. It's stupid. I'm surprised. I'm definitely going to get clipped about that bed thing, aren't I? I've got nothing against virgins, by the way. I was one myself. I'm just saying, by definition, if you're a virgin, you can't have somebody in your bed to do things with because you're a virgin. That's what I'm saying. How can I not respect them? I used to be one myself. How often is Sancho ill? I don't buy it, says Christopher. Hey, look, all I'm going to say about Jadon Sancho is, as Gary Barlow once said, and sang, have a bit of patience. Have a bit of patience. Shea says you still are a virgin. Yeah, that joke belongs, I would say, in an under 12s classroom. It's neither funny or true, and you've sort of exposed yourself, Shea, as your joke is virgin-esque. It's crap. It's really bad. I never explained the joke. Says this is something. Born in Nottingham, live in Northampton, United through and through. We are one, says Pauline Brooks. And anything about the sale of Manchester United, says Jonas? Not really. Same as where we have been before. But look, I tell you what, I like this game tonight. I think we've moved past the Readings and the Charlton Cup games. This is a Premier League side that's gone pretty strong against our rotational side in a game we want to win. I think by winning we've become more arrogant. I think that I fully expected us as a community and as a fan base to be sat here tonight going, don't care, not bothered. Do I look bothered about getting beat in the FA Cup? But now I'm looking at it and going, oh, just Maguire score from a corner and we'll get a clean sheet. I don't care how we do it. I want to win. I want to win, and I think Eric Ten Hag will as well. Nelson is going on. He's a 40-year-old virgin, apparently. Nothing wrong with that, Nelson. Nothing wrong with that. Mark, thoughts on Arsenal versus Everton and Liverpool versus Wolves? Can Everton and Wolves do the unthinkable and win again? Yeah, there are Premier League games to keep an eye on tonight, Robble, and we certainly will be keeping an eye on them. So thank you very much for that. Jack Francis, welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much for joining. Can I just say as well, big shout out to Manscaped. I mentioned it at the start of the show. If you don't know what Manscaped is, trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. Precision engineering for your family jewels. It goes down there. This is the Lawnmower 4.0. It's got a light for a more precise shave. It's got a 4,000 RPM engine for, it gets the job done. Adjustable lengths on it. Electromagnetic induction charging ports. You just drop it in, it charges up, you take it out. You can take it in the shower with you. It's waterproof. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. It makes a big difference. You can also get it as part of the performance package, where you get a brilliant travel bag, which is great if you do a bit of travelling, or you can just put your toiletries in it. You get a ball deodorant, you get performance boxer shorts, but you also get this beauty, the Weed Whacker. Listen to that. That ain't messing about. That's for your nose, or if you're really old, it's for your ear as well. But yeah, that's on fire tonight. That's really, there'll be people getting excited off that. Listen to that. Oh yeah, that's it's not one of those. That's for your nose. It's not for anywhere else. That is on that is up for it tonight. Put that in our midfield. Rampant rabbit. Anyway, that's not what it is. Links in the video description. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code UnitedStand, or you can just scan the QR code next to me on your camera phone and it'll automatically take it off. These are quality products. They make a big difference. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. Big shout out to Manscaped. Thank you very much for that. Right, let's get the stats carousel moving around here. There's Harry Maguire clapping the crowd. We've got a great community here, haven't we? Mark, what happened to Sancho, says Jay Lings, fam. What happened to you? Not seen you for bloody ages, mate. How you doing? See, I do notice names. Apparently he's not very well. Mark, will Mourinho go to PSG or Chelsea? Loving the show, says Matt. I mean, if you don't want Chelsea to do well, I'd like him to go to Chelsea. Ekram says, I trimmed the grass to make the yard look bigger, but it's small. Akram, okay. I know we don't have a backup, but bloody hell, Bruno needs a rest. I don't know how the guy is doing it, says Sean Turner. And Desiree says, I'm from Mauritius. I feel sick when I listen to Darren Bent, Danny Murphy talking about Man United. I just want to throw up. Thank you very much. And don't get me wrong, Mark, says Architect. Iban, if Eric Ten Hag puts the worst starting 11 out, I still have hope we'd win because of how good he is tactically. Well, he can change it as well. I mean, I think that's one thing that people don't realise is that even if this doesn't work, you can still make a change, can't you? We've got people on the bench, Casemiro. You've got Bruno Fernandes. I'm sorry, he's starting. You've got Marcus Rashford. You can bring players on if you need to bring them on. I think what you want to do is win the game with the team he's put out. But he can make changes. Qatar is leaking news that the deal will be completed before the end of the month to sell him. I hope so, because it's not going to be that long till the end of the month. And Graham Souness called Casemiro a steady Eddie. Yeah, what a prat, really. Watch the prats. Pip says it's another home draw for Manchester United. Mario G says, I'm mostly worried about Maguire and Scooby-Doo. Look, let's hope they both have a fantastic game tonight. It would be a big, big help. But I also feel that we could be in a situation whereby if they don't play particularly well, it'll open up the game more. I mean, have you ever thought, Ten Hag's a very clever guy, have you ever thought that by picking this team it means West Ham won't defend so much and it might open up the game a little bit for us to get in behind them? But yeah, let's see. Lights. And we just send this message. Oh God, it's a tight bridge. There we Would you keep hold of Fred since his recent improvement, or cash in if a decent offer came in, says Mr. Sedo. The interesting thing with Fred is to keep him, you've got to give him a new contract. I would certainly keep Fred over Scott McTominay, but Fred's out of contract in a year. So if you give him a new contract, how much football will he play next season? The whole point, I mean, Fred's fantastic, but if you bring in, let's say, a Frankie de Jong or a Casido or even a Bellingham, then you've got Casemiro, a Bellingham type, Eriksen, Fred, maybe a Sabitzer stays as well. The options, I would keep Fred, but you're going to have to give him a new contract to do it. And how much game time would he get? Do you see a future for Palestri or Ahmad, says Miles? I think at the moment I see more of a future for Ahmad because he's actually performing in the Championship, whereas Palestri, he's not playing week in, week out, is he, at the moment? I've got to tell you what, a really itchy nose. I do not know why. I've had it for ages. Anyone ever had an itchy nose? It's really itchy. Who do you think will win a race, Weghorst or Maguire, says Frankie? I don't know, but I think we'd have a good laugh at that. I'll tell you what, I think that should be arranged in the summer. Coming to your school sports day before the real races, Maguire against Weghorst. How do you think we will score tonight, says Ash G? Well, I'm thinking we'll score tonight by putting the ball in the back of the net of that big white thing. The sort of oblong white thing at the end of the pitch. I think that's how we're going to do it. But without being sarcastic, I think we score tonight through being creative. Without Rashford in the team, I would hope that Garnacho and Anthony actually look to use the overlaps of Malacia and Delo, and we put some crosses into the box. Yeah. Pep smells, pass it on, says Jake Marshall. Thank you very much for your being a member for 2 months. And what's up with Sancho, says Mer. Apparently he's ill. I'm just going to see if we've got any quotes from Eric of Ten Hag. But I'm sure we do have some quotes from Eric Ten Hag. But apparently he's not very well. Not in the squad at all. Let's have a look. It's the sound of the underground. Let's have a look. What's this? Okay, we've got some quotes from Eric Ten Hag. Shaw's not in the squad after picking up an injury against Newcastle. Jadon Sancho is ill. Ten Hag on Luke Shaw's injury. It's a small injury. I hope it's not too bad. We'll see how it develops. I do worry about that. We'll come back to Luke Shaw in a minute. You are as good as your last game. We've won one cup, but we have to keep going, says Ten Hag. And tonight we play other players, but we have many games. I think we played the most games in all of Europe, so we have to use the squad. That's from Ten Hag. He's absolutely spot on there. The interesting thing for me is that we have this story... And also, Talk Sport said that West Ham will play a weakened team tonight to concentrate on the league game. Is that a weakened West Ham side? I don't know whether that is a weakened West Ham side. Let's have a look at the team we know the team they've put out. You should have it coming round on the screen. There it is. If I was to say to you that West Ham's team at the weekend, when they beat Nottingham Forest, they've changed it by... They've only changed 3 players from what I can see. Goalkeeper, Jared Bowen, obviously Danny Ings, and Kufal. Changed 4 players, haven't they? So it's not that weak. No, I don't think that's a weak team at all. And one of them's been enforced, which is Danny Ings' cup tied. So I don't think that's a weakened team at all from West Ham. Like SK says, he can't play anyway, Ings. We can easily see Ahmad coming in next season and providing Anthony with great competition at right wing. I think we all like Ahmad. I think we all want to see Ahmad succeed, so I wouldn't care about that. That was from Icy. Iram says, how common are illnesses at other clubs? Injuries I understand, but illnesses at this rate is peculiar. Not sure if you guys agree, says Iram. He does get ill a lot, Sancho. He does. I spoke about that a few minutes ago. But look, we've just got to be patient with Jadon Sancho. He didn't play for 3 months. Maybe it's all part of the process. Maybe it's about, you know, maybe part of the process of coming back is that you come back for 3 weeks, then you have a little bit of time away. Who knows? I've just got to be patient. Kerwa, thank you. You're a legend. He's just gifted 5 memberships. What a legend you are. Welcome to Members Club, Jack Francis, as well. Ladios is buzzing for this game. And I tell you what, I can't lie. I can't speak. I can't speak. I agree. I agree. Hi, Mark. Need a show in India. Not many events here, says Rana. I would love it. Absolutely love it. I'll bloody love it. Mark, my man, says DQ. Today we will show how our depth truly is committed to the battle of a season. You know what? I think we're going to be all right tonight. I've gone with a 2-0 win. And the reason I think we're going to be all right is because these players are going to be hungry to prove they can't get in this team. Like, if you're Lindelof and Maguire, you can't get in this team. If you're Scott McTominay, you cannot get in this team. What an opportunity. You're in the team. And also, point 2, I'm wearing my tartan pajamas. I knew it. I knew it. I told you, Scooby-Doo. I knew, Jimmy. I knew Scott McTominay was going to play tonight. So I've got my tartan pajamas on. I'm telling you now, Simon, Manchester United. Yellow tie, crunchy nut cornflakes, Aldi driver. I'm telling you, Simon, Scott McTominay. Forget Casemiro, steady Eddie. He's the real deal, Simon. Scott McTominay, the greatest midfielder, not just in Scotland, Simon, in the world. I'm telling you now, I've played the game. Scott McTominay. Hat trick in the first 2 minutes. You heard it here, Simon. Let's have some of that. Also, I'd be foolish not to do this. It doesn't get to come out very often, but I love this ball. It's in the background a lot, but I can't turn it around now. I'm trying to do it in the mirror, and come on, you prat. It's easy. There we go. No. God, I'm an idiot. I'm doing this. Just do it real. Do it in real time. I'm trying to do it in reflection. There it is. It's an FA Cup mitre football. And all I can say about this ball is, if you had it in your hands like me, you just want to throw it up in the air and blast the shit out of it straight into the top corner. It's got that feel to it. Do 100 kick-ups with it. Yeah, come on. Let's see how many I can do. Get out of the way, lights. I won't be able to do many because I've got my tartan pajamas on, so I won't be able to do many. And I'm using bare feet, so let's have a go. Count me in. No, right, here we go. Oh God, it's really bad. It's not a great ball, this. It's like a beach ball. It's got a lot of bounce in it. What's that? 41? Must be over 50 now. That's got to be over 100 on air. Off both feet as well. I'm just going to stop. 110 not out. Get him in the England cricket team. Come on. You don't get that on Talk Sport. You don't get that on the overlap. You know that Lineker wouldn't do that. Could have kept going as well. Bare feet, enclosed space with a ball that's like a fucking beach ball. It's got too much bounce in it, that has. I was definitely over 100%. It's the tartan pajamas, Simon. I'm telling you now, Scott McTominay. He's got those. Goldbridge does that naked. He's only doing 50, Simon. That's the power. Manchester United, Scooby-Doo. pyjamas. Thanks everyone for subscribing. We've had another legend in the chat. I mean, there isn't really much room for legends when I've just done over 100 live, but that's for you. Rooney, thanks for gifting 10 memberships. Thank you very much for that. You don't get this sort of chat anywhere else. We are the elite community. Silver, this is why they won't have me on any of these shows like Match of the Day or the Overlap or anywhere. They're terrified. They're terrified of the skills I'll bring. Ben Foster made the mistake. He got me on his live show in London. Let's have a keep-up challenge. Kicked his ass. Undefeated Bridge. In a keep-up challenge, I'll take anyone on. I'll even, well, apart from someone like Rashford. Not a serving footballer. It's the shirt as well. Well, you know, I've got Casemiro jumper on and Scooby-Doo McTominay pyjamas on. No wonder I've got techers. We've got the midfield on lockdown. Anyway, I'm getting big-headed now. You've played the game, says Munaz. And can I just say, on a serious note, keep-ups are a brilliant thing. I taught myself when I was about 4. Wasn't very good. But if you're going to learn keep-ups, don't do it off one foot. Literally, you will benefit so much as a footballer. It will take you longer, but when you get there, your technique will be way better than anyone else. Just learn to go 1 foot left, right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot. You'll have a longer learning curve than everyone else, but trust me, you will become a better footballer if you do keep-ups 1 foot, left foot, left foot, left foot, right foot, and just alternate. You'll be better for it. Watch your feet are going to be clipped up, says Aditya. I know. Someone's going to be knocking one out to that, I reckon. Carlos Lopez. There's weirdos all over the world. Carlos Lopez, welcome to the Members Club. It's going to be a good show tonight. Got a feeling. I got a feeling. It's going to be good. Apparently I did 128. As long as over 100. I think I could. The only reason I stopped is I think it was going to get boring. Like I think I probably would have broke the world record. And we've got a match to watch here. Anyway, look, thanks everyone who's tuning in. Please do subscribe to the channel. This is the sort of conversation you have on the United Stand. It's a fantastic community. Dean's just given us a super chat. Don't forget, if you want some more of that sort of entertainment, then we are going to be live in Manchester and London in the international break doing live shows. I've even sorted out bars after the live show where we can all meet up and have a drink and stuff. So if you want to get yourself tickets to that, I don't know whether the link's in the video description. I very much doubt it. But I can probably find it for you and whack it in there in a minute. But yeah, Man United made a lot of changes. Let's have a look at whether we've got any more breaking news around anything. Ten Hag about the Carabao Cup. Are all great achievements. We've got to congratulate that, and we will do tonight. It's good that we show what we won. And he says, I think with Weghorst in the team, we've only lost 1 game, so he's doing a great job. He has to keep that going, be important for the team, and play a role. And has he rotated the team for freshness? 6 changes, but the rules and the principles are the same. It's not about using the squad. Until this moment, we've used everyone. Everyone has to be ready to play. And he's going to have another dinner with Sir Alex. He says, what do you mean? What do you think about the FA Cup? Everything. The cup is so important to me. The FA Cup, if you can win that, you have to give everything. It's the most important game. And you know what, as well, I wouldn't underestimate the power of the dark side. No, what does Jim White think of your impression? Says Matthew. I don't know. Probably loves it. Mark, please. I think Gary Barlow likes my impression. I've spoke to Gary Barlow. Or either that or he's never seen it. Mark, please debate Gabby on TalkSport. He's not a good pundit. Mate, I'd rather, with all due respect, every time he tries to have a go at me on Twitter, it's just too easy. I pass the phone to Seb to reply. I'm like, this is too easy for me. You have a go, Seb. So I don't think it'd be a very hard debate, really. Anyway, don't underestimate the power of the FA Cup to European, especially North European countries. And I'm not saying the Netherlands is North European, but the FA Cup has a very, very, very big following in places such as Norway, Sweden, and thank you, and the Netherlands. So in some ways, it might be a little bit more important to them than it is to us. So I think he will take it very, very seriously, and I think he will want to win. I really do. And he's right. You can only beat what's in front of you. And I think what's in front of us is a real opportunity to go and win another trophy. And can I just say as well, why do you care, says Harsh? You're asking a good question, even though you're probably being a bit of an arse. I've just pinned the link for the tickets for Manchester and London. If you want more of that sort of brilliance around keep-ups and banter, get your tickets for Manchester and London in March. Manchester has nearly sold out now. We opened up the upper tier, so I think we've sold 480, and I think it's only a capacity of 550, so it's going to be a good night out afterwards. And London, I think we have a capacity of about 450, and we've nearly sold 400. So get your tickets while you can. Links in the live chat. Looking forward to seeing you. There will be drinks and stuff afterwards. But yeah, I think that the importance of the FA Cup, and I said this the other day, SK says the FA Cup is like the dreams of all underdog teams, so it's special to a lot of people. Well, the FA Cup used to be the biggest game in football. For many of you, you might not remember it. Some of us do. I remember some of my earliest memories. The first game I remember watching from start to finish, I vaguely remember. Yeah, I vaguely remember 85 when United won it, but hardly. I mean, I was tiny. I vaguely remember Liverpool-Everton in 86. The first game I really remember watching from start to finish was Spurs-Coventry in 87, and it went to extra time. And then every cup final from them, I remember it, was Wimbledon the next year, beat Liverpool. 89 was Liverpool-Everton. I think that went to extra time as well. Obviously, 90 was Man United-Palace. 91, Spurs-Forest. 92, Liverpool-Sunderland. 93, Sheffield Wednesday-Arsenal. 94, Man United-Chelsea. 95, Man United-Everton. Boo-hoo, we lost. 96, Man United-Liverpool. All the way up until 99, I remember all the cup finals. And then the FA sort of got ruined by us not being in it. But the FA Cup used to be the biggest game in football. Like, it was the biggest game. The FA Cup final was bigger than winning the league, it felt like. I don't know why, but it did. And it's a shame what it's become, but it still retains some magic. The importance of this game tonight is it's an opportunity to go and win another trophy, which we should all be hungry for. But on top of that, let's not forget, Man City have got a chance of winning the treble. I don't think they will, but whilst they've got a chance, they've got a chance. They could win the league. They can win the FA Cup, and they can win the Champions League. We might not get an opportunity to stop Man City winning the league because we've played them twice. We won't get a chance to stop them winning the Champions League because we're not in it. But we have got a chance to stop them winning the FA Cup. And I think there's a responsibility. We've been getting away with City not doing the treble over the last few years because other people have helped us out, like Liverpool, etc. We've got the chance to help ourselves out tonight, and I want to see us do that. I feel for the players having to play every 3 days, but I'm loving having United on so often, says Hunter. And happy to see some proper rotation. Maguire are decent players, says Jamie, and it's the oldest club competition, believe, as the FA Cup are the originals. Loving the jumper, Mark, says Harrison. If you want to get the jumper, by the way, we do sell it and we do ship it worldwide. It's available through the link in the description. It's the second paragraph down, and it's the United Stand Shopify. You can get it. We do ship it worldwide. Thank you very much for that. Do not forget that we are sponsored by Manscaped. It's on the screen. 20% off, free worldwide shipping for this beauty. It's well worth it. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger with Manscaped. I'm just going to start the stats carousel round again. I don't know why it's not moving round, actually. Oh, there it is moving round. That's great. So those stats will update when the game's going on. Possession stats, it's as it stands. It will change as per second. And then you'll have the two team squads going round. If anyone scores, they'll have a goal on the shoulder, yellow card. They'll have a card on their shoulder. If someone comes on as a sub, they'll have an arrow underneath them. So very interactive show with our stats carousel. That QR code in the top right-hand corner actually is for OneFootball, who sponsor our stats carousel. You can download that for free. Links in the video description. Get all your latest breaking football news, transfer news. It also individualises the stats. So if you want to go onto the OneFootball app and have a look at how many passes Sabitz has played, etc., you can check that out on the OneFootball app. As I say, it's free to download. It's on Apple and Android. You get all your latest news on there as well for all your leagues that you want to follow. So get involved with that. Thanks very much to One Football. But I tell you what, we're only about 15 minutes away from the start of this game. City can't win Champions League due to the Pep curse, says Kevin. And controversial topic, but do you think Mason's possible return could be influenced by the sale and lack of transfer budget if Glazers stay, says Ollie. Interesting point, actually, Rooney. I don't know what the future is, and it's not going to be my decision. I'll openly say I wouldn't be very comfortable with Mason Greenwood putting a Man United shirt on again, and I think most people feel like that. But I'm not here to campaign either way. The club has to make the decision. I hope they make the right decision. But, you know, the way this club's been run by the Glazers, would it surprise you if we didn't buy anybody in the summer and, you know, hello, here's a new signing, Mason Greenwood? I don't know. It's certainly something I'm not massively interested in talking about, and I'm certainly not here to fall out with people about it. I just think we'll just have to wait and see and then deal with it, won't we? Louis said, I think the most important thing beyond all of that, hey, that's my ball. Bruno's got my ball. Hey, Bruno, that's my ball. I've just done 100 kick-ups with that. It's the same ball. Surprise, surprise. It's not the exact same ball. I feel like I should auction that ball off and sign it. This is the ball that Goldbridge did 122 kick-ups on live on the Man United West Ham stream. The bidding starts at 10p. Bolton won the cup more times than City, I think. Proves City the new kids on the block, says Louis. Thank you very much for the super chat. You can do that through the $sign if you so wish. We'll read them out. Game starts in 15 minutes. Hi, Mark. What's the capacity of the venue in Ireland, says Paul. We're sold out in Ireland, mate. We're sold out in Ireland. So 2 nights in Dublin. Can't wait. Just sorted out the bar afterwards. Not going to tell you where it is because we might get strangers turning up. But if you're in the venue, I'll tell you the bar. And if you want to go for a drink after, that's up to you. That's what I'm going to do at all events. I think the Dublin capacity is 400. So 2 nights in Dublin, 400 capacity. And then on the Thursday night, we're in Manchester. I think there's about 50 tickets left. And then the following week, we're in London. Still in the international break. And I think there's about 80 tickets left in London. So get them while you can. Live chat. Be great to see you there. And be a good night. Be a really good night. Looking forward to it. But hopefully tonight's going to be a good night. It's not the Hairy Lemon. It's not the Hairy Lemon. It's not the Hairy Lemon. No, it might be the Hairy Lemon. I can't. I can neither confirm or deny because you'll start figuring it out. It's the sound of the underground. Mark, I will start the bidding at $200 for that ball. Marcus from Dublin, says Marcus S. Bruno starting again, says Dan Kelly. The guy just doesn't get tired. It's kind of crazy, says Dan Kelly. Well, I'll tell you what. I might bring the ball to one of the events, and then I'll just kick it in the crowd, and whoever gets it. Imagine the pylon. Actually, the ball would just roll down the alleyway, wouldn't it? No one would want it. Prediction and scores. I'm going to go 2-0 to Manchester United. And Tumbleweed says on Mason, what will be, will be. It's not like we've got any say in it, is it? The game's on bloody ITV, says Nick P. I just had to sit through 10 minutes of the one show thinking it was there and I feel sick. You'll never get those 10 minutes back. Who was the presenter, Nick? I mean, it might be better. It depends whether you got Ronan Keating or Jermaine Genus. But, yeah, there's nothing, you know, when you hit the end of life and you're thinking about your life gone by, don't try and block that 10 minutes out because, you know, the things you could have done with that 10 minutes, you know, you could have washed your hair, painted your toenails, brushed your teeth, you know, painted your fence, all sorts of stuff. You'll never get that back. You're never going to get that back. Cork will be good for a great night, Mike. There's no doubt about it. Lots of people going to West Ham. So, anybody, I'm confident. I'm confident tonight. Should we do a little bit of a poll? What are we thinking? Results poll, I call it. Result. United, win, draw, or West Ham. A lot of people are saying they're worried about West Ham. I mean, West Ham have got a stronger team. They have got a stronger team. But I think we'll win. 2-0. Still got De Gea in goal. Player says, I'm not confident with Maguire in the team. Can't be a draw. No. Well, no, it can't. Is it straight to penalties? That's not been confirmed. I'm pretty sure it's straight to penalties. Now, all I'm going to say about that is Sancho gets ill a lot, doesn't he, says Joshua? He does, yeah. I think there is extra time before penalties. We don't want that. Did you hear the kudos news, says Lissandro? No. Extra time, then penalties. And we could do without extra time, says Aether. The interesting thing is that I don't get why the first 2 rounds of the FA Cup, you've got a situation where you can have a replay. And then you get a situation where you get to this round and there are no replays. I've never understood that. And I don't know what you think, but I've never understood why that happens. It doesn't make any sense to me why you've got earlier rounds where you have a replay and then later rounds where you don't have a replay. It's just really weird, and I don't really understand it. But you know, I suppose it is what it is. But look, we're ready for this game to start, I think. Can I just ask you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed? Bottom right hand corner, I'd really appreciate that. And thanks everyone who's tuning in. 84% of you are going with the United win. So, you know, for all those people who are fancying West Ham tonight, looks like you're in minority. Because everyone's thinking Manchester United's going to win it. We're Manchester United. We're going to win this one, aren't we, Gary? Yeah, we are, Phil. We're going to win it. We will win it. I think we will win. Nazir's just subscribed. Thank you very much for that. We've had a very eventful start to this game. We've had a good joke about king-size beds. If you know, you know. And we've had a keep-up challenge with an FA Cup football that's like a bloody beach ball. It was a miracle it could get that up. That's what she said. We have got 4 other games going on tonight in the FA Cup, and the draw will follow this game. So hopefully they'll be quite quick with the draw, and then we can talk about it on the fan forum, or if we're really lucky, my match reaction. We're only 300 subscribers away from 605,000, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner to know that. It's absolutely pissing it, Simon. It's absolutely pissing it down at Manchester tonight. I don't know what it's like where you are. It's not like that where I am, but it's pissing it down in Manchester. Let's be having you, says Rob. Nice one, Rob. Hope you're doing very well. Hope the March curse doesn't affect Man United in real life, says Jim Bob. He's in the chat, Jim Bob. Hope you're doing well. I tell you what, if you what, FIFA's back. My Man United career mode. I've missed Monday, Tuesday, but it was back today. Cracking stream it was. Really enjoyed it, and yeah, it was good. It was good. I'm buzzing for the game. I'm going to go 2-0, says Joe. Same as me, Joe. And Dean says, I'm going to the Dublin show. See you then. Wife left after seeing the tartan pants, says Dean. Well, don't bring her to the show because you know I'm wearing tartan pants. You know, you want to get the crowd, when you're doing a live show, you want to get the crowd on side. So I thought basically just wear a tartan. Got to wear some tartan bottoms straight away. You've got to meet them out of the palm of your hand. I'm not. That 8% is the Barca and rival fans doing what they did with Newcastle, says Akshay. Oh, mate, they can't wait to see us full. But that's part of being back in a way. And I don't think we are back yet. I don't think any United fan thinks we're back. But we're definitely on the way back. And we're definitely... I think it's a new feeling for some people. I see people on social media getting into arguments. And I'm like, I'm loving it. I'm loving all the bitterness. Oh, the Newcastle fans sang louder than you. Did they? Didn't see them up there holding a trophy, though. Don't think they sound louder anyway. I mean, at the end of the day... Look, I don't think Newcastle fans sang any louder than ours, and I don't think it's really important anyway. But what I would say is, if you go out to a 5-star restaurant on the regular and you walk in, are you going to start cheering and like thanking everyone and going, "Oh, I can't believe I'm here," when you're there every other week? Newcastle, that's not a cup final to them. That's like a once in a lifetime opportunity. that they don't get to cup finals very often. And I know we've not won it for 6 years, but we're Manchester United. We do win a lot. I mean, unless you're 7 years of age, you will have seen United win something. You could be like 88 and not have seen anything as a Newcastle fan. So you can understand why they're excited about their future and everything. But, I mean, I'd rather win the trophy than supposedly not sing as loud as Newcastle fans. 85% of you think Man United are going to win. The players are coming out onto the pitch. It's raining. And let's see what happens. It's an opportunity for these players to live off a bit of positivity, winning, obviously, on Sunday. Scott McTominay, Scooby-Doo, Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof. They've not been playing a lot recently. Opportunities for Delo. Bruno's a robot. Don't worry about him. I'm loving the bitterness too, says Nick P. Even got called a glory hunter again for supporting United. It's like the good old days, says Nick P. Yeah, I mean, the hilarious thing about being called a glory hunter is when I got into football, it was the mid-80s. United didn't win anything from 85 until 90. So I really got into United when they weren't winning anything. And they hadn't won the league for bloody years. So I don't know how you can be a glory supporter when you started supporting United in the late 80s. Even if you started supporting them in the 70s. Or, in fact, forget the late 80s. If you started supporting United in the 80s, how can you be a glory hunter? You literally can't. It's impossible. All my mates supported Liverpool because they were the team that were winning everything. They would have those bloody shirts that said candy on it that were really tight. They always used to run around like Jan Molby. Like, go on a run. But yeah, if you started supporting United in the 70s or 80s, how can you be a glory fan? You literally weren't born when they were winning European Cups and league titles. If you were born in the 90s, you're probably going to get called a glory supporter. But as I said, I met somebody the other day in the pub and we were having a chat. They're a Man City fan. And I went, I've got to hear this. I've got to hear how you became a Man City fan. And they said, I became a Man City fan when I was 10 in 2010. And before that, I supported Chelsea. And I went, oh my God, that's a story. I know it might be a little bit off topic, but the Glazers announcing they're looking for investment earlier this year implies they have got to do something financially or they will get penalties. And we know they didn't spend a Glazer pound on improvement. It's a wait and see, says Omar. Thank you very much, Omar. Thanks for your super chat. Very generous of you. I think at the end of the day, there's the Carabao Cup. I think at the end of the day, Harry Maguire's just holding the cup with Bruno. I think at the end of the day, if the Glazers stay, they're going to get investors anyway. And whoever those investors are going to get absolute pelters. The Glazers can't stay without money. And if they stay, who gives them the money is going to get absolute pelters. I'm telling you now. Dean's feeling excited. Well done, Dean. Have you just ordered your Manscaped? Or is it the game? Don't forget, we're sponsored by Manscaped. Links in the video description. 20% off. Free worldwide shipping. Players are... What are the players doing here? West Ham are passing the ball about... Oh, it's Casemiro coming to get his award. And that's why I'm wearing this tonight, by the way. Casemiro. He might not be playing, but they're all cheering and awarding him here. What a guy. What a guy. Not just Casemiro as well. That's the Man United youth team. Man United women's team goalkeeper, I think. If I'm correct. But nice to get appreciation. Not playing today. I tell you what, if he was playing, you'd be very, very confident that we were going to win, weren't you? But Sir Alex looks very happy. And he's just giving David De Gea something now for breaking that clean sheet record. And there'll be a lot of pride in Sir Alex. That's how long he's been at the club, David De Gea. Because Sir Alex brought him here. My keeper. There he is. Look at that. Love that. That's my moment of the evening. David De Gea receiving his clean sheet record from Sir Alex Ferguson. Legend Sir Alex giving David De Gea a tap on the back. God, why do we have to get old, eh? I look at Sir Alex Ferguson, and obviously, you know, that's the whole point, isn't it? When you've been around for a long time, you're going to get old. But to see him like that brings a smile to my face that he's still enjoying it and loving life. But, you know, many of you like me, I remember Sir Alex when he was like, what, late 40s, early 50s, you know, brown hair. Like that, you know. What a guy. What a time to support Man United as well. It was... you had to enjoy it because it was never going to last. It was never going to last forever. It was great. Anyway, let's get ready to go here. Teams are about ready to start. There is some Premier League games as well. We'll keep you up to date with that. Yeah, for me, look, people always talk about Sir Alex and his relationship with the Glazers. I appreciate it's an open shop. I appreciate that he has backed them, and I appreciate some people don't like that. But that's the stadium, Sir Alex Ferguson Stadium. The guy is an absolute legend, and you know, when the time comes that he's no longer with us, I think his legendary status will become even more. And how's that even possible? He's an absolute genius. Mark, you seen Eric Ten Hag talking on the tradition of chewing Wrigley's. Love it. Feels like De Gea only joined very recently. Sir Alex Ferguson, what a man, says SK. Smash the like button. Make sure to subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. Anyway, we've been chatting for ages. We've done keep ups. We've done jokes. It's time to go and get this game ready to start. West Ham will kick off. And I'll get the timer going as soon as they do. Paqueta to start it. I think we'll get a bit of a... Oh. I think we'll get a bit of a open game, to be honest. I think West Ham will come and try and express themselves. I remember Sir Alex Ferguson at the Dons beating Real Madrid, says Jack. Whew, long time ago, that. Honestly, I still sometimes go on YouTube and put in like things like Saints and Greavesy, 80s highlights. I just love looking back on football from that era. Is there a bit of a kit clash? No. But I think West Ham will have a go. Do other United fans see Sir Alex as a father figure too, or is it just me? Oh, Shane, 100%. You know, 100%. I grew, you know, if you're a certain age, you grew up with that guy and his petulance, his passion, his aggression, his stubbornness, you know, you can't fail but be you can't not be influenced by that when you're seeing that 2 or 3 times a week. Never mind Wrigley's, it's all about Tic Tacs. My dad bought a crate as a kid, but it was too much for us. Used them in a cat litter tray, says MB. Thank you very much. So we're up and running here. Let's see what happens. Glazers out chance already, says Instinct. Love it. Bruno playing at 10, Weghorst is the 9, Anthony on the right, Garnacho on the left, McTominay and Sabitzer sort of playing as a 2 by the looks of it. But we are winning 100%, says Aslam. I actually like the rotation because I think it makes the game very different. It's a very different Man United side, and I think we might get a bit more of an open game and a bit more of a closer game. Mark, India tour anytime soon. Beers on me wherever you are. Also hope to see the end of the Glazers soon, says Sahil. Yeah, I think we will sort out an Indian tour. I think there's a lot of fans over there of United, and obviously United stand as well. So I think it'd be nice to do that. South Africa as well. Love to go and do Australia next time. Going to try and do some of the American ones this summer. I think we're starting to figure out where United are going in the summer because we're playing Wrexham, aren't we, in San Diego? So we know we're going there. I'm pretty sure we know another one in Vegas. So starting to figure it out. I want them to go to New York. Fisk, welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much. But United just passing it around the back here. Bit of possession. It's difficult as well because it's a whole new back four and it's a whole new midfield. So we probably will struggle to be quite fluid. What I'm trying to say is you're not going to get a similar performance to what we've been seeing against Barcelona twice or Newcastle, because it's a completely different side. Bad ball by Anthony. Is Declan Rice. So, yeah, I mean, this West Ham side will have played together as an 11 a lot more than we have. Good play by Delo. Bit of negativity from Daz. We're going to lose this game. No. I'll tell you what, I'll be gutted if we lose this game. I think there's a lot of players here on show. Like, this is about who can step up to the plate. Because we might get an injury at centre-back or in the midfield. And these players tonight, you know, Sabitzers and Maguires and the Lindelofs and the McTominays, they've got to show that they can come in and do a job. West Ham play narrow, so midfield will be swamped. Magaloff and midfield have some work on this one, says SK. I mean, this is decent possession at the moment, but we need to play that line. We need to get that higher line. Nice ball by Lindelof out to Garnacho. You've got to move the ball quicker. There's a lot of there's going to be a lot of players with really good pass accuracy, but how many of it's going to be sideways and how much of it's going to be forward? And here's Antonio. He might run at Maguire here. Bruno's looking to get back at him. He's going to go at him, but Maguire has that covered. Good play by Delo. But that's it. You know, Antonio there just running at Maguire and thinking I'm going to knock it past him and beat him for pace. You would never do that to Martinez or Varane. He dealt with it well though. And of course, that's quite a big observation as well. Maguire's playing at right centre-back and Lindelof's playing at left centre-back, which I think is quite interesting because I personally think that Lindelof and Martinez are better as a pair than Martinez and Maguire. Here's Garnacho. Oh, he's overhit the cross. At least he put the cross in. Overhit the cross, though. Yeah, I agree with Abdul. There's a lot of players on the pitch who like to take 3 or 4 touches when one will do. And obviously that slows us down a little bit. But that was good play by Garnacho. You know, you can't moan at him for that. Getting it, putting the cross in. That's what you want. Not many people do that. Scooby-Doo. Go on, Scooby. Lay it off. Oh, what a goal that would have been. Brilliant play by Manchester United. Anthony to McTominay. Weghorst lays it off. And I thought Sabitzer, this is a great save. This is in for me. He's made a good save there. That's going. I thought that was going in. I was ready to go. Yes, it was really good play between McTominay, Weghorst, and Sabitzer, and I thought that was a goal. Really good shot. Great save. But that'll get the crowd going. A nice little bit of movement, and that came down the right hand side with Anthony. We should all, yeah. Somebody just said there, you know, Declan Rice. What do we think? Well, if Declan Rice can't put in a dominating performance against our second midfield, then, you know, Mark, don't know if it was mentioned already, but I think winning the Carabao Cup should make the fringe players more driven to prove that they can play first team football. Exactly, Matthew. Exactly. And here's Lindelof winning it back. Anthony will shoot. He'll shoot. He's right to shoot. Ooh, over the bar. He's absolutely right to shoot from there, Anthony. Hi, Mark. Just wanted to say thanks for all the great work you do. Appreciate it. Thanks, Krish. Appreciate it as well. Thanks very much. Yes, JZ says it does go to extra time and then to penalties. But a good start from United here. Reasonably happy with that. Sabitzer nearly scoring. Great save by Areola. Only 200 subscribers away from 605. Please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. Very good save. Do you think McTominay is told not to drop deep, says Miles? McTominay has given a foul up there. I thought he was going to get booked. My timer is off, you're right. Sorry about that. I did start it at the same time. Let me sort this out. There we go. That should be right now. So West Ham with a chance to whip across in. Then I'll do your super chat, Lee. In it comes. Easy header away by McTominay. And Lee says, just like to say I've been watching the United Stand for a good 3 years now. Thank you for everything. You've been with me through the hard times. Thanks, Lee. Got a fantastic community. Glad to have you part of it. Sean says, Bruno isn't human. How does he play every game? Thanks, Mark, for everything. Can't wait to see you in Dublin in a few weeks. Cheers, pal. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. I'm thinking of visiting a home game in April or May with my friend. Which game do you recommend, says Victor? Hold on a minute. West Ham are on the attack, and Lindelof as well. Chelsea at home would probably be a good one to do. I think that's the best home game we've got left, Chelsea. But the thing is with United, I mean, I think the last home game I went to was Southampton, or maybe it was Palace. They're all good games. And sometimes the bigger games end up being quite tight affairs. You want a game that's got 5 goals in it. My timer is bang on with ITV now. I think Rice is overrated. If McTominay was playing for West Ham, he would just be as good, if not better, says Jason. And come to Tampa and visit the Glazers on your tour, says Nathan. And you be happy with Sabitzer on a permanent deal, says Led. Too early for me. I'd like to think that Sabitzer will stay, but I think it's a bit early at the moment, because my concern is if you get Sabitzer, then we won't go and get a Bellingham or a De Jong or a Casido. Nice and fresh team to face Liverpool apart from Bruno. Must win this team only. Don't want Casemiro and co to come on tonight, says Anabin. Well, here's Garnacho. Bit of space down the left-hand side. That's it. Keep the ball. Keep the ball rotating. That's what it's all about. I don't know. I mean, Moyes is the West Ham coach. It amazes me how we went from Sir Alex Ferguson to David Moyes, and what's even more amazing is we gave him a 6-year deal. I mean, I don't want to come across as a know-it-all, but I desperately didn't want us to get David Moyes. I was terrified of it, and United were convinced. Even Sir Alex was convinced. It was like, this is the man, 6-year deal, and I was like, I've never seen Everton play good football in my bloody life under David Moyes. I don't know why we did it. I really don't. Thanks for the super chat, Alan. He says, going to United versus Southampton. That's next week, isn't it? Week on Sunday. Enjoy it. And Matt says, hold on, it's Scott, Scooby, out to Garnacho. He's got a bit of space, Garnacho. I think he'll shoot. Good shot. Follow up. Delo. And Weghorst offside. But another half a chance. Just saw my first match at Old Trafford against Barcelona, says Matt. Mark, what was your last match at Old Trafford? I've not been for bloody ages, Matt, and I do need to get to a game, especially now we've got the studio. I think the last game I went to was Pereira scored. Lukaku scored 2. Pereira got 1. It was 3-2, and it was... I think it was Southampton. Pretty sure it was Southampton because Ward, I think Valerie scored or something like that. Or I'm pretty sure Ward-Prowse scored. It was pre-COVID. Nice and fresh team to face Liverpool. Apart from I've done that one. Thank you very much. I remember I was singing Ollie's at the wheel, so it was right. It was when Ollie was decent. Yeah. I used to go probably at least a couple of times a season in the first few years of United Stand. Before I did the United Stand, I'd probably get to 4 or 5 a season. But yeah, I remember going to a dreadful 0-0, Palace 0-0 under Mourinho just before he got the sack. Terrible game. It was the end. My timer's not off. I'll explain it once for people who don't figure it out. That timer is what I see on the screen. So on my screen, it says 13 minutes and 15 seconds. So my timer is to sync in with what I'm watching. And the whole point of that timer is if you want to sync in with me. That's how it works. Hi, Mark. I remember going to watch the 1978 Team Treen and been a Man United Team Treen. And I've been a Man United fan ever since, says Mark. Fantastic. And thoughts on McTominay so far? He isn't scared of the ball for once, says Brandon. I mean, look. Do I think Scott McTominay's good enough for Man United? No. Do I think he's an okay player to be a bench player? Yes. Do I think he should stay at United as a bench player? No. I think he's got to go and find a club where he can play every week. I mean, because, you know, for all you know, and I know, Scott McTominay might be good enough to start for Everton. He might be good enough to start for West Ham. So, surely that's what you want to do. Hi, Mark. My brother JJ got proposed to his missus in Dubai, and he's a massive red. Can I get a shout out, please? From Mark. Thank you very much. Shout out to JJ. Well done. I think we signed DM only because it was a Sir Alex Ferguson recommendation, says Kevin. Early days, no tactics, just vibes, or Pasta Bruno and pray, says Lee. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I agree with what Itumi says. McTominay isn't horrible, but we need an agile DM who can defend and create. Yeah, you need a more mobile DM, you need a more creative DM, and you need somebody who, you know, just a step up from that. We're Manchester United, and I think if Casemiro was out for 2 months and you had to play McTominay, we'd be in big trouble, wouldn't we? Sir Alex is just loving life now, isn't it? You know, he's not watching us get panned. We're winning trophies. He's enjoying his retirement. Here's West Ham down the right hand side. I tell you what, it's been a good game so far. I mean, I know it's not it's not Barcelona at the Nou Camp, is it? And it's not Newcastle at Wembley. It's West Ham who are fighting relegation against our rotated squad, but it's made it a more interesting game because it's more open. McTominay, always giving the foul. Weghorst is fuming. Maguire is so slow, and that's not any connection with the midfield. I think the only way to fix this is Sabitzer coming to get the ball from the back, says Jim. Yeah, I think Weghorst caught him in the back. Can you do around the world while doing keep-ups? I'd love to see it, says Dan. But not in this fucking space, I can't. Did you ever feel nervous about going the games with such a big channel? I always wonder if big YouTubers like yourself have reservations like that, says User. I mean, you always get people coming up to you, good and bad, but at the end of the day, you can't stop doing something you enjoy doing. Goal kick to Man United. Grimsby are beating Southampton, says Mark Williams. And Bush says it was a dive by Paqueta. Weghorst never touched him. The referee was right in front of it. Let's have a stretch. Ah, there's my bloody glass. I couldn't find it earlier. It's on the shelf. Not my favourite player, but Maguire is looking sharp, says Wan. Mate, Wan, I wouldn't spend time focusing on Maguire. Why is Maguire playing any better than anybody else? I said this yesterday, 2 questions in the press conference again. People are bloody obsessed with Maguire. If he has an average game, he's world class. If he has a crap game, sell him. If he doesn't start, let's have 3 questions about him. I've never heard of a player get so much publicity for being actually just okay. It's like I don't understand why he gets spoken about so much. I just think he's an okay defender. And I wouldn't spend a minute talking about him when you've got Varane and Martinez. It's great to see Sir Alex. I mean, as I say, Lindelof must be gutted because I don't think Lindelof's worse than Maguire and he never gets bloody mentioned. It's great to see Sir Alex smiling and loving life. We nearly lost him and I love him, says Tom. And yeah, and Mark, as someone who doesn't live in England, how on earth do commentary teams big up average England players like Maguire, says Matthew. I don't know. I mean, it's one of the big advantages of not having to listen to the commentary. They're absolutely obsessed with Maguire in this country. Every journalist, every commentator. It's nauseating. Because I don't mind Maguire. But the hype he gets and the publicity he gets, it's just ridiculous. He's just not that good. He's okay. I genuinely think you could make a case to say that, you know, Michael Keane isn't that far behind him. And I personally think Tomori is way better. And guess what? He's English. Gets no mention. I wonder why. Southampton are 1-0 down, says Alex. Mario G says that... So, no, Rodley says that Lindelof's way better than Maguire. I don't think he's way better, but I think you can make a case that he's as good. Buttonell, thank you very much for subscribing. Any news on Sancho? Apparently he's ill, Source reacts. Bruno, come on McTominay, there's a pass on there. Nice ball. Into Garnacho. Cross comes in, headed away. Lindelof's across. Does well. Nice ball by McTominay, that. I think it's to do with the access, not just English, says Michael Creaney. "8 years of this wonderful channel, only United channel I've been following from the Van Hal days. Hopefully you can win proper trophies under Ten Hag," says Anaban. Thanks, pal. Thanks for your support. And evening, Mark. If Ten Hag and United managed to do the quadruple this season, considering the schedule and how bad we were, would that be a better achievement than the 99 treble? No, I'm not doing a... Alec, I'm not doing a poll on that, you prat. He wants me to do a poll on what would be better, winning the treble or winning the quadruple here. Are you having a laugh? The treble involved the Premier League and the Champions League. This is not even a treble. This is not a quadruple. This is winning the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, the Europa League and the League. It's not the same. Honest opinion on Fred. Joshua, I think he's a very, very valuable member of the squad. Sancho needs to see an immunologist, says Cody. Nice ball into Weghorst, into Anthony. Needs some support. Got to go wide. Got to go wide. Doesn't. Goes to Bruno. Nice ball to Garnacho. Come on then, lad. What you got? Oh, he gets tackled. Malacia, no. And then well won back by Sabitzer. We'll have the throw-in ref. Mina says it's a harder achievement. I don't care how hard it is, mate. It's like saying, is it a harder achievement to hop up Mount Snowdon or get to the top of Mount Everest? Why are you hopping up Mount Snowdon? Winning the treble cannot be defeated by winning the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, the Europa League and the League. It's ridiculous. There has to be a status to it. How can it be a bigger achievement when we weren't good enough to get in the Champions League? Sabitzer is the calibre of bench player we need, says Nick. I think we need a creative number 9, not a penalty box one. Our wide forwards are always looking to shoot, like what Firmino does with Salah and Mane. Good point, Tom. I like it. Tony Bain, thanks very much for subscribing. Neil says McTominay's done quite well so far. 22 minutes gone. Maguire, he loves that long ball, and it's not a very good one. Don't do it if it's not going to work, Harry. We don't do that shit anymore. We don't like long diagonals. Want it on the ground, fast. Good ball into Garnacho. Oh, that's a lovely ball into Antonio. And Maguire and Lindelof have lost him. And De Gea makes the save. That's what he does. Dave saves. Slow at the back. That's magnificent. That's a one-on-one. That's what David De Gea does. Did it in the cup final. And does it again. Game saver. And that's the problem with Lindelof and Maguire. The pace just ain't there if they get in. But I mean, it wasn't very difficult. It's one pass and they were in. And then a side netting header from Soucek. Got to be careful of that. Got to be careful of that. Sit down, Beth, says Eden. Ever since Beth's done that video, David De Gea's gone up the level again, hasn't he? It was, to be fair, that was more on Lindelof's side, if I'm being honest. But there's just no pace between Maguire and Lindelof. Like, there's just none. It's one ball and you can get in behind. Corner. Now, this is where Harry's got to be getting his head on it. Hello, Mark. Hope you're well. Man, been watching Joe's channel for a good 10 years. Just want to say thanks for all the great content, says Joey. Thanks, Joey. Not been doing it for 10 years, but I get what you mean. Thank you very much. Poor Harry, what a tank, says Corey. Hey, come on, Lindelof got done as well. Hey, Mark, isn't it surprising the lack of good strikers in this generation, says Haja. Thomas, thanks for your members. Why have we not put a cross into the box here? Well, we did put a cross in the end. Not adding Kane to this squad would be criminal, says Jada. Osman does not have the passing to bring wide players into the game. I think we will sign Harry Kane. I'd be very surprised if we don't. But his distribution isn't good, clown, says Barry. Understand your point, only meant the context of the quadruple with this unimaginable schedule. Oh no, Alec, I completely agree. But I just can't put nothing. That's why I don't want any other team to do the treble, because I think it's the biggest achievement in English football. It was unbelievable what we did. And that schedule was ridiculous with a smaller squad. And you could make less subs. So context. Sonny, it'd be a massive achievement though for Man United if we could win 4 trophies, which I don't think we will. If that's how it works, then we need Beth to do a video on insert player here, says Chris. And if we get new owners, Mark, will you go back to buying United merch, as KJM? I don't think anybody has really stopped buying merch anyway, has they, to be honest? I mean, it's a personal choice. Maguire might get booked here. This is part of his game that's crept in as well, hasn't it? Slow to the tackle. Only in the last sort of 18 months have we seen more and more of this. I remember him getting sent off for England. It's almost like he's panicking, trying to... It's always like he's overcompensating because he's lost his place. I think he's trying to be a more aggressive centre-back, but he ain't quick enough to do that. So I think he picks up a lot of yellow cards trying to be what Martinez and Varane are. Martinez and Varane are very good at stepping out of the back four quickly and intercepting. I think Maguire tries to do that, but it's not his natural game, and I think that's why he picks up a lot of yellow cards for things like that. West Ham having a good bit of the game here. Nice play. Good shot. They're running off our midfield a little bit now. Mark, do you think if developed properly, Rice could become like Casemiro, or is there just too much of an ability gap? Says Go. Ah, mate. Declan Rice ain't going to be Casemiro. Like, Casemiro... I don't think that... Casemiro, arguably best CDM of the last decade. Declan Rice ain't going to be the best CDM of the next decade. Like, it's just not going to happen. Here's Bruno. Nice ball. Got away at that first time. Oh, it wasn't. It was Delo. It was Delo. I thought it was going to be Anthony. With that yellow, will Maguire get subbed at half-time, says Paul? No. And with Maguire, it's not that he's a bad player. It's this playing style doesn't suit the high tempo, says Nate. No recovery pace. No, he's a good centre-back in the wrong system. You put Maguire in a Liverpool team, he'll struggle. You put Maguire in a Man City team, he'll struggle. Not because of the standard, but because of the way that they want their centre-backs to be quick and left on their own. You put Maguire in a Everton back four or a West Ham back four, deeper line, I think he'd be absolutely fine. Put him in an England team, he does all right, especially if it's a back five. Here's Anthony. Go on, Ant, have another shot. No. Put the cross in there, probably. What made us sign Maguire in the first place? He was like this at Leicester as well, wasn't he? Says Annabelle. Yeah, I mean, you can't go back to this bad decisions that were made in the past. I mean, I know Wan-Bissaka's doing well now, but £50 million was ridiculous. Maguire, I don't know. I mean, I actually quite liked him for England. I didn't watch him massively for Leicester. I just think the step up for Maguire was too much. I think Leicester was probably not his level. I think he had another gear, but maybe it was a Spurs. Don't think it was a Man United. Good play here, Veghorst, Anthony. Oh, we've lost it now. Good one. Go on, Anthony. Good battling from Anthony there, and he wins the free kick. Love watching the stream, says Nathan. Thank you very much. Sonny's talking about new bid. I've not heard of that, Sonny. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Neil Robinson, thank you very much. Welcome to the Members Club. Robert says he could see Maguire doing well at Everton. Be interested to see who was actually interested in buying him, because I agree. I think there is a club for him and McTominay, and it probably is that sort of a club. And I think that I think Daichi would. Well, yeah, of course, I love Harry Maguire. He's like an English Tarkovsky, who actually is English but has a name that doesn't sound English. Good cross, good holding by De Gea. I think Lindelof is more of a Ten Hag player, and even he's got his weaknesses. Maguire under Tuchel would have worked, says Michael. Yeah, three centre backs. Yeah, I see what you mean. Hi Mark, Veghorst looks good on the ball today. There's a few people in the chat getting a bit concerned. McTominay's going to get booked now. It's the same old. I mean, I have nothing to say, but it's the same old story. McTominay and Maguire getting booked because they're out of position. And it is a yellow. He trips him up. Somebody said that's not a yellow. He's literally tripped him up. If it ends in a draw, it goes to extra time. How would Maguire do in the Serie A, says Clayton? It might be all right, you know. Yeah, I was saying before, there's a few people in the chat having a bit of a moan. But I'll stand by what I said at the start of the game. This is a very much changed United side, and it doesn't surprise me that we've struggled to find any rhythm, because it's basically, you know, we've changed the whole back five if you include McTominay and Sabitzer. So it's a very much a changed side. As I say, I just want to win the game. Lovely play here by Bruno, but the flick doesn't work. McTominay has slipped. I do worry about McTominay being on a yellow and Maguire being on a yellow. West Ham are starting to play some decent stuff here. Maguire and McTominay, clumsy yellows, says Ryan. And love one like Kane as a player, but identify him too much with Spurs, like De Bruyne with City, but that's me, says Atty. You know what's going to happen in this game. We're going to end up bringing on Rashford and Casemiro and Martinez and Fred. So, John, thank you very much. We could have done with that Sabitzer chance going in, really. For me, it feels like the sort of game where you need that goal to be holding on to, but we haven't got the goal at the moment. Trying to blame Maguire for covering McTominay being out of position is shameless, even by your standards, says MUFC 95. Maguire's been classed, nearly created 2 goals. Oh my God. Tell me you don't know football without telling me you don't know football. What are you on about, mate? I don't know what you're on about. Mark, you tired? I am a bit tired. I didn't sleep very well last night, Dinesh. And I was in a bloody 2-hour meeting today. Okay, I can't stand meetings at the best of times. Declan Rice, ball out wide. Nice ball. Good cross across the face, a goal. Goes out for a goal kick. Sam, thank you very much. It's all your fault anyway. There was people in the chat saying McTominay's had a good 10 minutes. Ever since people said, you've jinxed it. He did have a good 10 minutes and now he's looking all over the place. Pyjamas aren't working. Well, I'm not taking them off, said Kay. Ryan says too many changes. Your timer's off. What you mention isn't going on with the action. Mate, I've got 35 and 17 on screen. And I've got 35 and 21 now. I'm completely in sync. Like, I don't know, you're not the only one who's mentioned it, but I'm not making it up. What's on my screen there is on my screen here. I don't know what's going on. Why downgrade to Kane? We have a proven winner of silverware in Veghorst, says Jacob. And Maguire is starting to turn out like Phil Jones, Mark. The bloody pink boot, says Petter. As positive as things are at the moment, it does still annoy me that we are quite a dirty team. Constantly fouling, always racking up yellows, says Odie. Matty says, love the pool table, Mark. Proper man cave that. Thanks, Matty. Do a Liverpool watch along? No. Love for Australia, says Soup. Well, United haven't really created anything for a while. You do not want to... We don't want to be conceding first in this game, that's for sure. Be a long way back. Nice ball in. Oh no, De Gea's there, that's fine. Oh, what the fuck has De Gea just done there? Should have just booted it out, Dave. Mistake. Here's Antonio. Gets hold of it from the save. I don't know what Dave was doing there. He should just booted it out. I don't know what he was doing there. Mark, would you say Garnacho or Luis Diaz are similar in a way? Both provide nice energy to the squad, both, even though Diaz is a bit more polished, I think, says Oliver. Wow, Garnacho's a work in progress. I can see him getting subbed off in this game, if I'm honest. I think he'll be the first one to get subbed off. Thomas writes, says, I like how Bruno's wearing the captain's armband. He's not. Maguire's wearing it. Robert says, I can't see where a goal's coming from. Well, we should have scored with Sabitzer, and that's the sort of... It was a great save by Areola, so I can't criticise it, but... Anthony. Foul. Burndon, thanks for your super chat. What's your assessment, Mark, on why we're playing so boring? Slow tempo, really. You know, it's not anything... Well, I suppose it is, in a sense. But I've got such an itchy nose. I'm sorry. It's really... I've never had such an itchy nose. I don't know what's wrong with it. Do you think we should sign Sabitzer permanently? I'm not going to answer this question again, RAW. It's way too early to make that decision when he's only been here a month. Like, let's wait until sort of May, which is what Ten Hag will do. For me, it's been that physical, get creatives on Palestri, Mainu, and some big guns up front as SK. I'm not surprised by the performance so far. This is on ITV now, ITV1. I'm not surprised by what's going on so far. It's good interception by McTominay. It's the tempo's too slow because Maguire and Lindelof don't move the ball as quickly as Martinez or Varane. They also don't play such a higher line as Martinez and Varane, so we're further away from the pitch. Scott McTominay is not Casemiro, so we're not getting hold of the midfield either. So there's many other things, but those three are the biggest problem at the moment as to why we're struggling. There was an article in a Norwegian newspaper about you today, Mark. Talked about your TalkSport clip about Solskjaer and Potter. Says kids, oh God, I bet they don't like me because everyone loves Solskjaer, don't they? Arsenal are winning 1-0 against Everton. Yeah, they'll win tonight. I'd love Everton to get something, but I think Arsenal have got Everton and Bournemouth at home before we play Liverpool, so I think it'll be 6 more points for them. Notice and Maguire and Lindelof do not communicate at all, says Matthew. Here we go. Garnacho, have a shot. Ooh, just over the bar. Worth a go. How come Mag Fridge still holds the armband? Always nervous when he plays. Club captain, mate. Alexander. And would you like McAllister at United, says Ian? If I could take one player from Brighton, who are you taking? You can take one player from Brighton, who are you going to take? Considering McAllister, Casido, Mitoma, I would take Ferguson. We've had a good history with the name Ferguson. We need an Irish player, and I think he's got the potential to be very special. But maybe I'm on the minority there. And Mitoma's very good. Casido's very good. McAllister's very good. But I would take Ferguson. I like the lad. I like him. I think he's got something very He's like a modern sort of Alan Shearer. I'm so dumb. I didn't think to check there, says Nay. And Lee Dixon on ITV clearly doesn't have a clue, or like Anthony. So many skills and no end product. What a grim human being, Southgate's brother, says Nick P. You know what it is? If we're being absolutely blunt, I've been called out today by another ex-player because why do I support Man United when I was born in Nottingham and I live in Birmingham? Why is Anthony being targeted when he's not the worst player on the pitch? There are still some people out there who, for whatever reason, have this, and I don't know what the word is, issue with outsiders. Whether it's non-English or don't support their local or whatever, it's just an odd way of living when we're meant to live in such a diverse and equal society, and yet you still get criticised because of where you're from. It's very, very sad. And you see the bitterness. You see the bitterness all the time. I mean, I've watched this game. I don't think Anthony's Man United's worst player. I actually think he's putting in a lot of effort defensively. And I guarantee you Ten Hag's happy with Anthony's performance. I wouldn't even put him in the 3 players that I think need to improve. So, but it goes on all the time. I mention it a lot because I see it a lot. And I'm English. And I'm embarrassed by it. The bias that there is towards English players and the treatment foreign players get, it's wrong. It's exactly what happened with Martinez. Oh, here's a 5'10" Argentinian from the Eredivisie. He's bound to be shit. He won't be as good as a 6-foot English guy. It's a sort of opinion that belongs in the bloody 80s. It will go to extra time. Matty says, Agbong Lahore is just jealous of your hairline. Evie says, if we win this draw right after the game, yes. And Andy says, this is brutal. He's got to make some subs. Anthony's been brilliant tracking back, says Ben. Yeah, I agree. Well, I've just put a tweet out about it. You've got to defend it when you've got to call it out when you see it. It's the sound of the underground. I don't know why I've got that bloody Girls Aloud song in my head. Shite. Anyway, we're nearly at half time here. Quite how? I mean, really, highlights of the half. Ten Hag's De Gea's save from Antonio, 1-on-1. And then before that, Sabitzer, with decent shot. They don't want to upset the institution, says Lee. And watching from the depths of Devon. Lovely place, Harry. If I had £1 every time Anthony used his right foot, I'd be in debt. Big ups to the United Stand crew. Thank you very much, Harry. And I like how Martinez gains an inch every time we talk about him. He started at 5'7" and now he's 5'10". This is great progress. What's his secret, says Barron. Thank you very much. And Ped says the lack of quality is embarrassing. This is not Manchester United. This is not the team that's won the Carabao Cup and beaten Barcelona. And you need to put that in your head. It is big rotation. You know, it's not Man United. Like, it's a completely different back four. It's a completely different midfield, and we're struggling from chemistry, etc. But referee's just done a FIFA there. He's blown one when West Ham are on the attack. But half time, 0-0, Manchester United and West Ham in the cup. I'd like to get your thoughts. I think people will be frustrated. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I do feel that we have got a situation where we're struggling to get that goal. West Ham have got more fluidity, and they've obviously played together more regularly. This team that Ten Hag's put out, I think it's the right team. I really do. But it's lacking. It's lacking in tempo. It's lacking in purpose. There's not a lot of creativity out there. Our best chance happened in the first 10 minutes, and we've sort of let West Ham back into the game since then, who haven't created many chances themselves. Kizza says we're slow, and indecisive with Maguire and McTominay on the pitch. The West Ham team is easily beatable with our best team on the pitch. And Alex, welcome to the members club. Thank you very much for that. Also. I think Arsenal are winning 2-0, so it's a bit of a blow. That this rubbish is still better than under Ali, says James. The tempo of the team is too slow. And if we look at the half time, the stats at half time, if I can just get them on the screen for you, yes, I can. Let's pause that. So we've had 60% possession to them 40%, but they've had 4 shots on target and we've had 2. Our pass accuracy is better. But I think a lot of our possession has been dead possession. I saw this a lot under Solskjaer. Because we'd create next to nothing. and you try and attack the Solskjaer style of football by saying, look, we don't have much possession. But we did have a lot of possession under Solskjaer because it's dead possession. It's side to side. It's around your back four. A lot of players in that team take 4 touches when you could take 1. Well, if you take 4 touches instead of 1, that's keeping the ball for 4 seconds instead of keeping it for 1. That's more possession because 4 seconds is more possession than 1. There's a lot of dead possession when we play at a slow tempo. You can vision it in your mind, can't you? You know, defender gets hold of it, looks around, takes another touch, passes it to the other defender, looks around, passes it back. It's very slow. The tempo is very, very slow. And that's why we're not creating very much. Second half, Erik ten Hag resurgence incoming, but we definitely need another 4 or 5 signings for this team. The drop in quality is so obvious, it hurts, says Emmanuel. And second half, yeah, okay, thank you very much for that. I'll be taking off Maguire for Martinez, says Alan Noonan. And more like Gobby Bonglabor. Am I right? Says upbeat sarcastic. And poor Gabby getting a lot of stick. He's probably just stressed as he's got his sats coming up soon. He's got to revise, says Luke Jones. I think that bring Martinez on for Maguire and he will be better, although he wasn't that bad, says Desmond. And I think Ten Hag has figured out how to manage all these games we have to play. He's basically playing at full space for 45 minutes per game, says Nick P. Yeah, I mean, look, I trust as much as that wasn't a great Manchester United half. The score at half time is 0-0, and we can only get better. As I say, I think if we could get 1 goal, I'd fancy us to get over the line, but we've got to get that goal, and it became increasingly unlikely in that last half an hour. Sabitzer, I think, has been quite quiet. I know he nearly scored, but I don't know what everyone else's thoughts are. I think Sabitzer hasn't really been in the game. He's been very, very quiet. We have got the ball to Garnacho and Anthony quite a lot, which has been, to our credit. Weghorst has worked hard. Bruno's worked hard, but we're not really getting them into the game. And the tempo from Maguire and Lindelof and McTominay hasn't been good enough. And to be honest, Dalot and Malacia have not overlapped at all. So there's a few areas I'd be looking to get a little bit more into. The problem is, I think Malacia and Dalot would attack a lot more if they were playing with Varane and Martinez. But because they're not, they're having to sit back because, you've got to protect the lack of pace of Lindelof and Maguire. So I think the result is pretty predictable. We were never going to be vintage United fast pace because we've got a lot of slow tempo players on. But ultimately, it's about getting through this game, isn't it? And I still think we will get through. Hi, Mark. I'm not sure why Sabitzer is playing forward and McTominay is CDM. Should not be the other way around. Bruno needs a serious rest, says Mohit. And the way you say Martinez is starting to rub off on me. I can't help it, Jack. Every time I say Martinez, I do it with a bit of a Scottish thing. And I think it's because of I played the game. That Martinez is too small. Would you make any subs at half time? Says Trevor. Well, remind me what the bench is, because I think I've played the game and I would like to know what our bench is before I could let me have a quick look here at what Manchester United's bench is. I mean, we have got options, of course. You could change the centre-backs if you wanted to. I'd rather not be bringing Varane on. I think Martinez would be fine, but I wouldn't be bringing Varane on. I don't really see the point in bringing Wan-Bissaka on. So what else have you got on the bench? Martinez you could bring on. Rashford, Fred, Casemiro. I mean, Pellistri, Alanga. Pellistri, I'd always like to throw him on, but probably not at half-time. Casemiro is going to make us play better, but really, I wouldn't want to give him 45 minutes. Same with Fred, same with Rashford. So I'm probably not making any subs at half-time, if I'm honest. Sean O'Rourke says, I just saw Lucas tweet, Erik ten Hag made too many changes. Erik should be able to make this many changes. Some of our players just aren't up to the task. I disagree with that, Sean, as well. I don't think Ten Hag made too many changes. I think if it was 0-0 at half time and Casemiro and Rashford and Varane looked absolutely knackered, people would be saying he hasn't made enough changes. So, you know, I think criticism of Ten Hag, no matter how low level it is ridiculous. I picked the exact same team in my preview. I didn't expect Ten Hag to pick exactly the same team, but I think I don't know what. Maybe these critics haven't played the game or analysed the game properly, or maybe they haven't thought it through. We played Barcelona on Thursday and we played Newcastle on Sunday. If you ask the same players to play a game, you're asking them to play 3 games in 6 days. That's asking for trouble. So I don't think he's made too many changes. I think the quality issue is the problem. He's had to make changes, but when you do, you need better players to come in. We need another centre-back in the summer. We need another centre-back in the summer. We need another midfielder in the summer, and we need another striker in the summer. Martinez and Casemiro will close the game out, says Desmond. Well, I think our bench is better than theirs. So as long as it's 0-0 or hopefully 1-0, I think we'll be absolutely fine. It's all about winning. It's all about scoring the first goal in this game. If you score the first goal, I think you go through. Because I think West Ham are capable of keeping a clean sheet, and I think we are as well. Playing Maguire and Scott, slow transitions is so bad, says Anakin Skywalker. But I'll repeat what I just said there in a different way. If you can't play McTominay and Maguire in a game like this, why are they here? So I will defend Ten Hag. Like, if you can't pick those players in a game like this, why are they here? Like, West Ham, after Barcelona and Newcastle, is a real low priority game. You want to win it, but it's the lowest priority. If you can't pick your rotational players in a game like this, what are you supposed to do? I think that, the big problem is Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay have both been booked again because they don't suit this system. They're desperately trying to be players that they're not. McTominay's jumping in trying to be Casemiro. He's not quick enough. Maguire's jumping in trying to be Varane. He's not quick enough. Yellow card. We've got too. And look, I'm not highlighting those players, even though I am. But what I'm saying is, this is only year 1 with Ten Hag. He brought 5 players in, and they've all become very, very useful in their own way. He needs another 5 players now, because that team has still got players in it that aren't good enough for the way he wants to play. It's still square pegs in round holes. If you let him buy another centre-back, next season, if Varane gets injured or needs a rest, the other centre-back comes in and suits his system. They're here because we don't have a choice. Exactly, Desmond Short. And, Maguire was bought by Solskjaer. Solskjaer's not the coach. McTominay was promoted by Mourinho. He's not the coach. So, Lindelof was bought by Mourinho. These are not necessarily Ten Hag's players, but he can't change everything straight away. And he has to be able to rotate. I think there is this expectation, quite rightly, because we're Manchester United, that when you rotate, we're going to play as well as we did without rotation. But that's not going to happen. Rome wasn't built in a day. I think we're on a fast track to building a first team that can compete. We're nowhere near building a second team that can add to that. You look at Pep. He can play Bernardo Silva, Mahrez, Foden, Grealish. In the Champions League, in the Premier League, in the FA Cup, it doesn't matter. They rotate in and out in different games. At the moment, Ten Hag can only rotate in the least important games. We need to be able to rotate in any game. That's the key. That's the message. We can't rotate against Barcelona or Newcastle because we'll get beat. So he's got to play the strongest team. And we need better rotational players. The fact that and those rotational players shouldn't even be called rotational players. We need better players that can compete for starting spots, so that if Casemiro doesn't start against Liverpool, it's because the new CDM plays and he's really good. The fact that the side regresses this much when Ten Hag makes changes speaks of the lack of depth, which is why winning the league is still a way off, says Stephen. Thank you very much. Lindelof hasn't been that bad, to be fair, says Desmond. Look, I think if Martinez doesn't play, you play Luke Shaw next to Varane. And if Varane doesn't play, I think Martinez plays better with Lindelof. That's my honest truth. Slender Jade says, Maguire, McTominay will need to be replaced. Probably won't be starting. We will have enough to challenge next season. We need another midfielder. We need another centre-back and we need a striker. And like somebody said in the first half, I think it probably will be Harry Kane. And I think he brings something different to that front line. Grimsby Town against Southampton. Penalty, says Aaron. I'm just going to have a stretch. So, look, I think this could go to extra time, people. That's my concern. We do not need extra time, because if you make your subs early in the second half and then they have to play extra time, they basically played 90 minutes anyway, which is probably a reason he hasn't started the likes of Rashford and Casemiro, because he's very aware that this game could end up with 120 minutes. I think what we need to do in the second half is try and win this game badly. That's what we need to try and do. Win this game badly. Should keep Fernandez next season. Alvaro, the left back, says Rising Dark. Brandon says grown man wearing pyjamas. Yeah, Brandon, I think actually the older you get, the more you wear pyjamas. But I mean, I really don't care. But give a shit. I'm not really bothered what people think about what I wear. It's called being comfortable in your own skin. I've seen an improvement in McTominay tonight. I think we have high expectations now because of how high the first team bar has gone up drastically, says Luke. Mate, I completely disagree. I just don't think McTominay's good enough for Man United. If he's the replacement for Casemiro, we'll lose a lot of games. So we need to go out there and get a proper replacement. I think this year McTominay's decent, but McTominay's a necessity. But let's be honest, he's 27. Is he 27 now, or is he going to be 27 this year? That's not. I'm not saying we're going to sell him, but I think we need better than that. To be honest with you, I haven't got my slippers on, Paul. I've got bare feet. You've missed 100 kick-ups. Gangnam Style. But look, if this team was playing next season, you'd want someone in the McTominay position as a rotational player. You'd want a better centre-back at least. And we still need someone who can come in and do Bruno's job, because it's ridiculous how much. I mean, Bruno has played 3 games in 6 days. I don't know how he does it. He's not real. He's unbelievable. I agree, Mark. He is simply not a CDM. He never seems to want the pass, says Susan. So no changes at half-time. They're waiting to come out. Disagree a bit about Sabitzer being quiet. He's been all right, but not as his full potential because of the shortfalls of Scott. Yeah, Kurish, I'm not saying he's been quiet because he's been hiding. I think he's been quiet like Bruno. I mean, they're just not getting any decent ball, are they? If you're an attacking midfielder, you want the ball quick in space. If you're an attacking midfielder and you can see your centre backs passing it around and McTominay taking 4 or 5 touches, by the time you get that ball, if you get that ball, the space is gone and you're probably marked. Mark United have been way off it, but hopefully we're in for a better second half, says Dylan. Thanks, pal. Member for 8 months. And Casemiro's coming on. My changes: Maguire, McTominay off, Lacindro, Kaz on. Personally want to see Palestri for Bruno with Rashi on now. Well, McTominay's off and Casemiro is on. So we get to see it might be an injury. I don't know. But it's Casemiro and Sabitzer time. And SK got it absolutely right. Casemiro is on, and I think we need to get hold of the midfield. Get the Manscaped nose trimmer out, Mark. Itchy, says William. I think that might be why it is a little bit itchy, or maybe I've trimmed it a bit short. Looks tactical to me, says Kyle. Well, Bruno's about to kick this second half off. And there we go. It might be protection because of the yellow card. He did it at half-time in the Carabao Cup, didn't he, with Dalot? So you might be right about that. Casemiro is the only sub. We should get hold of the midfield a lot better now. Yes, Mahad says Sabitzer and Casemiro. Exactly, we get to see it. He's on. I knew there was a point for wearing my jumper. If you want to get one of these, by the way, we do ship them worldwide. They're available. You can get it in yellow. I wasn't brave enough to get it in yellow because I thought it'd be a bit bright for streams. But you can get it in red, yellow, green, red, navy blue like mine. Links in the chat, or just go to United Stands Shopify. We deliver them worldwide. Get yours today. Can we get hold of this midfield now that Casemiro's on? See, there's Casemiro straight away. Dropping, taking the ball off the defence. It's a different kind of CDM. Elock says, Goldbridge is a very bad critic. He doesn't see nothing wrong with someone he likes. Sanitizer is not that good, period. I just said he had a quiet first half. The match can go to penalties. JK edits. Extra time, then penalties, which is what Ten Hag will not want. I'd almost say Ten Hag would rather go out than play extra time. But that'd be bollocks. But you know what I mean? He will not want extra time. If the game goes to extra time, do you think Bruno will be substituted? No. Something I don't. Apparently Bruno's got this thing where he gets really pissed off if he doesn't play the full 90 minutes. Eric Ten Hag, assertiveness and decision making is most welcome, says Nix. Yeah, I mean, look, I personally, I don't even know if I would have made the sub at half time. So that's really assertive, isn't it? Because, you know, normally as a fan, you're saying do a sub and then a manager will do it 10, 15 minutes later. I don't know that I would have made that sub at half time. I've got to be honest. I might have just give it another 10 minutes. So I know McTominay's on a yellow, but another 10 minutes probably doesn't make a massive amount of difference. But on the way home at the moment, Mark, what's the other scores tonight, says Josh. As it stands at the moment, Arsenal are beating Everton 2-0 in the Prem. And the Grimsby are beating Southampton 2-1 at Southampton, which is a massive result if that happens. Presumably they've made a lot of changes. Liverpool are 0-0 with Wolves at half-time, so Liverpool's still struggling to get results. But Haddy says there's an urgency to change the game. Good play by Garnacho. Needs some support. Good play by Sabitzer. Oh, Weghorst, he's just too slow there. Well, it's a better midfield three now. I mean, you could almost argue that this midfield three could be our starting midfield three. Casemiro wanted the bloody ball there, Maguire. Now, he has got it. Gets it to Garnacho. Bit of space for him. Oh, come on. Corner ball. How's Dalot's game been? I'd like to see Dalot and Malacia getting forward more. It's let me get that stats carousel on the roll actually. Yeah, I'd like to have seen. So there you go. Casemiro's come on from McTominay. You can see the red arrow there. I'd like to see Dalot and Malacia get forward more. Defensively, they've been okay, but they're not really in the game as an attacking point. Mark, I got my jumper today. Says Anthony, good quality. Hey, they are good. All our jumpers are really good quality, and the hoodies are fantastic. So I'm glad you're happy with it. Sabitzer into Anthony. No, it's a shot. It's on target, but it's got no power in it. Yeah, another short corner, ZK. A bit disappointed about that. I mean, one thing about Maguire is, you might not like him, but he's very good at winning corners. Headers. Go on, Lindelof, back to David. That's it. Interesting switch of the play by West Ham. Oh, De Gea had to make a save there. Can you say hi to my friend Augustino, says British Texas Ranger. There you go. I love my Eric Ten Hag hoodie from the United Stand. It's very well made. Highly recommend it, says Rob. The hoodies are fantastic. I need to get another Eric Ten Hag one. I was painting in mine over Christmas and got paint on it. Here's Casemiro into Weghorst. Oh, he's get it out your feet. Fucking hell. That's a great ball by Casemiro, and Weghorst just not a great first touch. It's behind him. He needs to get that out in front of him and get a better shot. He's always shooting from behind. This was the chance. I think it's Soucek and David Hare with a good save. I think Maguire would have cleared it anyway. He's a hard worker, Weghorst, but technically he's sometimes a little bit lacking, and there he was a little bit lacking. He is a good finisher, Weghorst. It's just he needs the right type of ball. I don't think he's a... See, look how deep Delot has to play when he plays with Maguire. There's no going forward. I think Delot spends a lot of the game deeper than Maguire. Good ball out by De Gea, but Garnacho can't keep it in. Malacia, come across. Okay, now we're all over the place now. Casemiro loses it. Never mind Rashford being the best in Europa. It's Saka, says Zayn Miasi. Here we go. Bruno, come on. I think we lack a bit of pace down the middle. Let's be honest. We're lacking a bit of... You know, one thing Weghorst doesn't have is pace, and that can be a problem. Go on, Delot. Go on. Now's the ball. Pass it to Delot. The overlap was on. Here we go. Sabitzer into Bruno. And this keeper's got it. Junior says Sabitzer's playing well. He's getting on the ball a lot more now since Casemiro's come on. Makes a difference. That's Maguire with a header. To nobody. Thanks for subscribing, everyone. We're only 10 away from 605,000. Bottom right-hand corner to do that. Games are coming thick and fast for United, but there has to be a winner tonight. This is the FA Cup. Somebody will go home. Somebody will go through. We want to be the ones going through here. The first goal is going to be key. And it's a goal for West Ham. Now, Maguire's moaning about something. Benrahma has scored. Fucking hell. That's going to be difficult now. I don't know what Maguire was moaning about. Always said the first goal in this game is going to be key. Benrahma's scored it. Yeah, the ball might have gone out, but I don't know. Let's have a look at this finish. It's a good finish. Maguire's got to close him down quicker there. He's got to go and close him down a lot quicker than that. I mean, Bruno tries to get the tackle in, but I wouldn't say it was coming. I just think that ultimately one team's going to score first, and they're trying to see if the ball's gone out. Goal given. One 0 to West Ham. Fucking hell. So disappointing. Looks like Rashford's coming on. People saying it went out. I mean, they won't have a camera for that. They won't have a camera for that. They'll be guessing on that, I think. I don't think they've got a camera down the line. I Don't think we have that technology. But remember, it's got to be the whole ball. I've tried to criticise McTominay. He's not a CDM too much, but Casemiro, my God, midfield pair is so important. McTominay, the learns from Casemiro, has got to go, says SK. Yeah, it's a disappointing goal to let in that. I mean, I just think that Maguire needs to close that down a lot quicker. You can't just plant yourself 5 yards away from a player that's about to shoot. You got to get your body in the way and close the angle. And I mean, it's clever play by Ben Rama because he's then used Maguire to blindside De Gea. And all he's got to do is just bend it around Maguire and De Gea can't see. So he's got to close every yard, every half a yard, every step that Maguire goes forward, he closes that angle. It's just, I wouldn't say it was an easy finish by Ben Rama. It's a good finish, but Maguire plants himself too far away. And maybe he thinks Bruno's going to make the tackle, but Bruno doesn't make the tackle. He's got to step forward. So we've got a bit of a mountain to climb now. Don't want extra time. And this is why we're 2-3 years away from challenging for the league. We need at least 4 more players. The bench players are terrible, says Stephen. And Maguire just stood there instead of trying to step forward and try to get closer to the shot. Martinez blocks that for sure, says Jimmy. Well, Martinez is coming on. Now, is he going to take Maguire off or is he going to take Lindelof off? And I think that Rashford's coming on. I think Maguire should come off, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's took Lindelof off. It's really unfair. And that's a bit unfair, to be honest, but I'm not surprised. And Anthony off for Rashford. Interesting. The old xenophobic pundits will be loving that, won't they? Maguire stays on and Anthony goes off. Well, I think Martinez plays better with Lindelof anyway, so I'm quite surprised that he's kept Maguire on, but you know, what can you do? Maybe he doesn't. I don't think Ten Hag would keep him on just because he's the captain. I don't know. Maybe some bad changes today by Eric Ten Hag, says Vihang. Look, I trust Ten Hag. He's the manager. I'm not going to criticise him, but for me, Maguire's cost us a goal, and Lindelof and Martinez play better together, and we can play a higher line. Look at Maguire doing all the pointing again. Fucking hell, you've hardly played this season, mate, and you're acting like you're fucking Beckenbauer. So Bruno's gone to right wing. Weghorst has gone to number 10. Rashford's gone up front. I'd have just took Weghorst off and put Rashford down the middle and kept Anthony on and put Bruno at 10 still. I know Lindelof is slow, but he is a much better technical player than Maguire, says Stephen. Yeah, Mark, can my mate Charlie get a happy birthday, says Drew. There's a ball onto Sabitzer there, and it was a first-time ball. But here's Garnacho. Cross is not good. Good tackle by Malacia. And he slips. And we've won the throw. Renegade says, I can't believe he kept Maguire on. Well, he's the manager, mate. We trust the manager. Let's leave it. Move on. I mean, to be honest with you, I expected him to take Lindelof off. I think it was just got the feeling. The one that I'm surprised about is putting Bruno on the right wing and putting Weghorst at number 10. I know it worked in the new camp, but it didn't work against Leicester. Look, there's plenty of time. Half an hour to go. You called it, Mark, as Anthony came off. Another game where the expensive acquisition has failed to impress. It's disgusting, Munoz. I think he's put a shift in, Anthony, tonight. Why Lindelof instead of Maguire, says Desmond. And Nick Nat, welcome to the Members Club. Maguire telling Martinez what to do. I've seen it all, says SK. You're almost wandering into, is it one game too far here? I don't want to go out the FA Cup, you know. I mean, I do not want to go out the FA Cup. Still 30 minutes to go. Stay positive, says Owain. Yeah. Yeah, but look, you know what I will say is half-time against Barcelona on Thursday, 1-0 down, I really fancied us to come back. I've got to say at the moment, I haven't seen a lot from us that makes me feel confident. But that's good pressing by Malacia. It's a 3v2. You've got, oh, bad pass. Here's Martinez up against Antonio. Oh, he's done Martinez. Good save, De Gea again. Fucking hell. We'd be out if it wasn't for De Gea. He's made a massive save again. He's made 3 big saves. They've definitely had the better chances. Rashford. Well, Antonio just sent Martinez back to Ajax there, let's be honest. Tinkering and playing Bruno wide. Why? This is just football. And Mark, the foreign bias and the anti-English rhetoric on YouTube, social media and in some Premier League club chat rooms is as bad as English bias in the media, says Ronald. I don't know what you're talking about, Ronald. Ronald McDonald, the clown. "63 minutes. Still plenty of time to go. What is our win record with Maguire starting, says NVM. I don't know. He keeps claiming every 2 minutes he comes on at the end of a win, though. Pundits will say Maguire's poor form is because he lacks confidence, but at what point will they admit he's just not good enough, says Stephen. Nice ball by Veghorst. Here we go. Got overlap surely from... Go on, slip Malacia in. Oh, why did you not slip him in, Garnacho? First time pass, Malacia. Come on. I think our wingers hold on to the ball too much. Rashford, Anthony, Garnacho, they all hold on to it for too much. That's what I like about Palestri. Casemiro. Oh, he's hit that well. Again, it's a good... It's like Sabitzer in the first half. Areola's done well there. Maguire's so annoying. Always the first to complain to the ref and to his teammates as if he's in the right. Should have been taken off, says Milo. And hi, Mark. Can't believe the commentators never leaving Anthony alone. It's getting ridiculous now, says Biggie. Could you also please say happy birthday to my friend Preston? Happy birthday to Preston. I need a stretch. Ow. The tartan pyjamas didn't work. Bring on Alanga, says Keel. Oh my God, no. Bring on Palestri. Sabitzer looks real neat on the ball, if you ask me, says Ernest. Well, to be fair, I mean, the goal was completely preventable. 0-0 after 65 minutes doesn't mean we're playing bad. But we're not 0-0 because we let them score a goal. A few players subbed off and look at the difference, says Sam. Exactly. I mean, Veghorst's done all right at number 10, I've got to say. Sabitzer into Rashford. Sabitzer. Garnacho. Cleared. I feel we'll get the goal. It feels like we're going to get the goal. Just got to be careful on the break. Garnacho. Sabitzer. Maguire wins the header. Now it's with Garnacho. Casemiro. Rashford. He's going to hit that. No, a bit greedy from there. This is a cup tie, Ayan. If we go out, we're out. There's no second leg. If we equalise, it's extra time at 90 minutes. Rusty thinks we've lost it. There's still time, mate. 25 minutes. Be very unlike United not to score. So I fancy us to score. It's just whether they're going to get a second goal. I think it's a bit of a throw your punches at the moment. My worry is pre-shares pump it in terms from investment firm, put 200 million short, and then some news release, price drop, 5 Glazers made billion, says Alex. That sounds a bit like stock manipulation to me. I'm sure people would be awake to that. Abdul says it looks like one of them days. I just think whoever scored first was going to have a massive chance of going through. It just had that sort of feel to it. Nice ball into the channel again. Antonio and Martinez. Bit of a mismatch physically, but Martinez has won a... No, he's given a foul. Where was the urgency at the start, says Foos? Tempo, terrible first half. I do not think that's a foul. Just give the throw in. Why is that a foul? I'm with you on that, no love Frey. I do not know how that's a foul. It's a very soft foul. Should have been a throw into West Ham. I'll be sick if we go out. I'm not going to lie. I'll be really, really gutted if we go out. I really would. I really would be gutted. I do not want to go out. It's that hunger to go and win again. And I just think it was such a preventable goal. Am I the only one who misses Shaw for our only crosses as Mario? And at what point do you want extra time, says Noah? Match definitely says we need spending in the summer, says Aaron. I mean, I'll take extra time. It's, you know, I'm not bothered about staying up for half an hour, but it's... We don't need extra time in relation to our season. Great tackle by Malacia. And terrible pass. Martinez, come on. That's 2 bad passes in a row by Malacia. I mean, I think Malacia's still a work in progress. He makes some... He's got loads of energy, makes some good tackles, but obviously he's still a little bit raw. Come on. That's a silly pass by Weghorst. Would love Eric Ten Hag to give Palestri a chance on the right. Surely it's better than moving Bruno there. He won't sub Bruno, Jake. Decent effort by Bruno on the volley. I did ask David Moyes or Ten Hag, says David McPherson. Well, it'll be a big... I mean, look, the funny... Well, it's not funny. We all know this about football. It can be an odd mistress or mister or them. You know, you're flying high, you're not Barcelona out, you win the Carabao Cup. We could get knocked out tonight and beat at Anfield and we'll feel shit. So, you know, and that'll be basically any thought of the league and the FA Cup gone. You can't do it all. I I think there's a reality bite, if that did happen, and I hope it doesn't, that we're not where... This is why I say we're not going to win the league. We're not ready to win the league. We just do not have... I don't think we've got a first 11 that is quite good enough to beat the very, very best. I think it can on its day, but I think, we still lack things. We certainly don't have the bench. So, and the thing is, if you look at the team now that's playing, that's nearly our best 11. Like, I know Anthony's gone off and Varane's on the bench and Wan-Bissaka's on the bench and Luke Shaw's injured, but you could argue that Sabitzer, Bruno, Casemiro, 1-1. Come on, let's get back. Let's get back. It's Casemiro. I was trying to see if it was going to get given. He's done it again. The Samba beats. He's offside. If that's him on the far post, he's offside. Bollocks. He's off. He's miles off. He's off. That's what I was looking at. And the way Casemiro celebrated it, I thought he wasn't. It's a shame. He's miles off. Absolutely miles off. Fucking hell. And well, I say, yeah, he's miles off. There ain't no angle that's going to change to. Shit. Oh, shame. That's why I didn't celebrate so quickly, because it looked... I could see a few red shirts, and... yeah, he definitely looked miles off. But then he celebrated it, and I thought, well, maybe he knows. He is the GOAT. It's a shame. That would have been a bloody perfect time to equalise and have 20 minutes at them. Still time to do it, but I think he knows. It might be close, though. They're taking their time. They're taking a long time on this. Oh, he's miles off. What? How does it take... What prat does this? It takes some bloody ages. Offside. Look at that. Fairy Liquid FC. They're all loving it. Coughing up their bubbles. We are still in this, says Tapilla. Oh, I'd love that to have been a goal. Jared Bowen's coming on for West Ham. Last time Alanga played was with Ronaldo. Chance it, says Keel. Arsenal are winning 3-0 against Everton. It'd be a double whammy if we get knocked out the league and then Arsenal winning like that. Sorry, knocked out the cup and then Arsenal winning like that. I mean, look, I think Arsenal are looking very good at the moment, aren't they? But then again, you know what? If you'd said to me you've got to lose one game and you can win the other 3 out of Liverpool away, Carabao Cup final, Barcelona and West Ham, this would be the one I would choose, but I've not been given that choice. So every game Maguire has started this season, United have lost, says Bobby. That can't be true. That can't be true. I just fail to see that. I fail to see us not scoring at Old Trafford. It's an open game. We might have to use our extra time, but I fancy us to score. A clinical striker in the transfer window solves problems like tonight. I like Weghorst, but he's yet to be dangerous. It's not his fault, says Mike. He's just not quick enough. Well, Weghorst just ain't quick enough. He's too slow in the build-up play and in and around the box. And you see people like Sabitzer and Bruno and Casemiro, and they're looking up and they're looking for that ball, and he knows where to go. He's just not quick enough to do it. He's never going to solve that problem. He's just not going to be quick enough. But look, he gives his everything, but he's just not quick enough. Like, there was a run there from that Bruno's seen from Weghorst, but he's not hit the pass, Bruno, because he knows he probably won't get it. Good play by Garnacho. Subs haven't worked, says Element. Yeah, I'd like to have seen Bruno stay at 10. Weghorst off for Rashford, keep Anthony on the left, on the right. And I definitely would have took Maguire off and kept Lindelof on. I mean, whether that's made a massive amount of difference at centre-back, I'm not so sure. But I certainly think I'd have kept a proper winger on. Here's Garnacho. What's your opinion on Christian Eriksen, says Christian? Good player, but injured at the moment, as we know. Google it. Every game Maguire started, we've lost this season, says Bobby. We are probing, says Thomas. Yeah, Arsenal got Bournemouth at home on the weekend as well, so that'll be another home win. Goal! Weghorst! Get in, he scores! 1-1. We've got time to do it now. And Weghorst, who many of you said were saying to take off, he's gone and equalised now. Weghorst, 1-1. Get in. That is why Ten Hag gets paid the big bucks. Oh, it's an OG. I'm celebrating an OG. Yeah, I'm celebrating an OG. It's not Weghorst. He's nowhere bloody near it. It's Agard. I mean, I'm closer to winning that header than Weghorst. It's a brilliant header by the West Ham centre-back. Get in, says Marcus. So, yeah, it wasn't Weghorst who scored that, but we can let him have it. But 77 minutes. Come on! We don't want extra time. Want to win this. We want to win it. Come on. Doesn't matter how it ends up in the back of the net. We were a bit unlucky with Casemiro. Look at Bruno. How's he play? Oh, no. You're not a winger. You're not a winger. He's got it. That's a crap ball. Goal kick. I genuinely thought Weghorst had scored it. He was nowhere near it. Come on then. We've got, what we got? 12 minutes to go. I think player ratings might be out, actually. I'll whack the link in the video description, but it might be going a little bit longer yet. UnitedStand.com if you want to start doing your player ratings. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. But here we go. Weghorst, he needs a pass. He's got absolutely nothing there. Now he finds a back pass to Bruno. Don't shoot, Bruno. No, that's ridiculous, Bruno. And he knows it. Let's go. Come on, United now. Let's go for the win. I love the content, Mark. You're an inspiration in the space. It's Orange Stang. Thank you very much, pal. The bubbler's burst, says Alan Noonan. The bubble's been inflated, mate. Viagra. We're back on. Rock on. We're in this game. It's won a big chance in the last 10 minutes. Still time. If you're interested, Liverpool are still 0-0 at home to Wolves, by the way, which would be shocking for Liverpool. Obviously, we've got to go there at the weekend. Here's Bruno. Oh, another corner. Whip it in. They've really struggled for crosses into the box. Whip it in. Why not? Stick it in the mixer. You got Maguire in there. You got Weghorst in there. You got Agard in there. He might fancy another one. Put it in there. Come on. Bruno. No, he's not a very good cross, that. Charlie Davies, thank you very much. Welcome to the Members Club. 10 minutes to go. I'd really like United to get a goal here. Links in the video description for player ratings if you want to do it, by the way. What do I think about Weghorst? I like Weghorst. He's, You know, he tries his heart out. I think he's limited. I think he's slow. I think we need a lot better, but we haven't got anything else. I mean, look, who else would you play? Sancho's not on the bench. Martial's not fit. Anthony's already gone off. Like, yes, we could be better in that position, but we could also be worse. Go on, Garnacho. It's got to be worth it. He's done well. He's done very well. Hey up, ref. Oh, fucking hell. He has pushed him over, but it would have been a soft pen. It would have been a soft pen. Am I wrong to think that if a tie, there will be a replay? No. Straight to extra time and then penalties, someone special. No, you're not going to get a penalty for that, unfortunately. Way too soft. I mean, it is a foul, but he's never going to give it because it's the referee going, I can't give a foul for that. It's still a foul, but you don't get them, even in front of the Stretford end. Go on, Garnacho. Oh, he's done well. He's definitely kept that in, and it's a foul. Paqueta. Bruno's not protecting the ball. He's careless as Marcus. He has just played 3 games in 6 days. He's probably he's probably quite tired. Liverpool are winning 1-0. Nunez. One chance in the last 10 minutes. That Stretford end will be sucking the ball in. We don't want extra time. We want this in normal time. Bruno. Oh, he won it again. Casemiro straight at the keeper that time. One more chance. Come on. If we had a Barcelona kit on, it would have been a pen. Oh, yeah, definitely. Lots of people saying sub Bruno now. You know he's going to score. I've got a bit of a cold now. It's probably because that's why I've probably had an itchy nose. It was the start of a cold. Fred is coming on for Sabitzer. He's telling him to come on and fight. Go on, Garnacho. You've got to find that pass to Weghorst. It's there. It was there. Corner. You've got to give it. And it is a corner to Manchester United. I think Sabitzer might be coming off for Fred. He knows it. Well, Fred's been quite useful off the bench for Ten Hag at times. I mean, he's scored a few, hasn't he? He's not coming off yet. He's going for the short. Bruno, whip it in. Whip it in. 5 minutes to go. 4-0 to the Gunners against Everton. That's a demolition job. Bruno with the cross. Not very good. Considering the success of Casemiro and Varane, which Real Madrid player would you want next, says Ubermelon. That's Bruno with the cross. Rice keeps it in. Joshua says that defensively, Malacia is very good. He just needs to work on his passing. Come on. Another corner. Come on, come on, come on. Maguire's got to get on the end of one of these. Come on. We do get extra time and then we get penalties. Maguire's not... I don't think Maguire's in a very good position here. He's more on the keeper. Sabitzer's off for Fred. I mean, look. This is why Bruno's a robot. Bruno will play extra time when he's played 3 games in 6 days. Sabitzer has barely played in both those games and is subbed off. That's how many minutes Bruno Fernandes does. Unbelievable. Liverpool goal has been disallowed, apparently. Come on. Right on the keeper, Bruno. Right on the keeper. No, it was good. Martinez went with the volley. Blocked. He's giving West Ham the throw. Unlike the Carabao final, this game has been a slog to watch. Cons of playing Magaluf and having the deep line, says Deuce. Well, we're getting to that point now where we might be looking at extra time. We really do not want extra time, but what can you do? What can you do? It is what it is. Bruno, and another corner. Come on. Here's Rashford. Here's Garnacho. He's lost it himself here. Come on, we're sloppy. We're sloppy now. Come on, switch it on. Switch it on. "87 minutes. I mean, I'll take extra time over going out. I think we all will. But what I don't want to see happen is us concede. What I don't want to see us happen is, you know, I want us to win it in normal time. That is going to go long here. I don't know why, because we're never going to win that long ball. "88. It's Casemiro. It's gone long again. It's a lovely ball to Garnacho. Come on toast. Have him on toast. Malacia. What the fuck is that? It's just the final ball's gone shit the last 5 minutes. I don't know what we're doing. That's what Ten Hag's saying. Time. Calm down. It's an opportunity there. Too slippy, says Isaac. Make sure you subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. We might be heading to extra time here this Wednesday night FA Cup tie between Manchester United and West Ham. It's not been great. It's not been great. Player ratings, links in the video description, mate. I mentioned that before. West Ham on the attack. Oh, fucking hell. Some of the passing's been dreadful. Come on, get the ball. Get the ball. How long is he going to add on? Good ball. Come on. Come on. Delo, carry. Into Bruno. Come on. Don't go backwards. Go forwards. I don't think that cross is ever on there, Bruno. Oh, Veghorst. Bang! Oh, he's blocked it. Garnacho. Yes! Yatton, you bastard! What a goal! What a goal! Garnacho time! Get in! Get in! Get in! 2-1 Manchester United. He's buried it in. There'll be no extra time. Stop the count. Moyes is down. West Ham are blowing bubbles, but they're not. The fairy liquid is in the throat, but there's no life left. They're not blowing anymore. They're lifeless. They're going out of the cup. And it's Garnacho who's finished it. Manchester United 2. West Ham United 1. Garnacho time again. And I tell you what, I don't really want to talk about it, but all these idiots who were taking a pop at him. He's a match winner. Extraordinaire. Look at this. We're right behind this as well. The technique from that position. The whip The curl, look at it. He's on the edge of the box almost. Oh, it's magnificent. It's absolutely magnificent. What a goal by Garnacho. 2-1 to Manchester United. Perfection. No extra time. We don't want extra time. The kid is a genius. Garnacho time. He did it against Fulham. He's done it before. Get in. Absolute scenes. Absolute scenes there. We don't want extra time. We don't want it, and we don't want to be out of this trophy either. Get in. Get in. Oh, how long is he going to add on? We're already into stoppage time. Magnificent. Magnificent. How long is he adding on? I don't know. Oh, they're crying. Get him some fairy liquid. 4 minutes. Oh, I'll tell you what, that's a relief. I was actually, probably like most of you, I was getting ready for that to be extra time. We really don't need it. Having said that, West Ham are on the attack here. Go, Casemiro. He's made a difference. He's made the difference. That's a good ball into Rashford. The cross is on. Oh, I thought it was going to be 3. I thought he'd done it there, Rashford. The game is stretched. Oh, just so happy. Just so happy with this. So close from Rashford. He skims the post. He's been quiet since he's came on, Rashford. Garnacho's going to go off here. Match winner. Player of the match as well. Not sure about the hair colour. I've got to be honest. Maybe in my younger days. Oh, I love it. I love it. And look, I'm not here to criticise people, but I'll never understand why he got all that shit a few weeks ago. Never understand it. And the faith in keeping him on, look, he could have took Garnacho off and kept Anthony on, and the faith of keeping him on, he's a match winner. Match winner again. Absolutely fantastic. Don't forget to do your player ratings, by the way. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. Because to be honest with you, there's been some decent performances, there's been some averages performances, and there's been a couple of probably shit performances if we're absolutely honest. Viva Garnacho says PQ. I personally think that, you know, we've scrapped our way through this game on pure adrenaline again. Really. And it's from that guy, again, Ten Hag. That ability to just fight your way through it. Yeah. Liverpool apparently winning 2-0. The team just won't lie down. And here's Fred. And Bruno, just a bit overhit. That's 94 minutes anyway. He's just keeping it in the corner, Bruno. Eric Ten Hag gets big bucks for the Garnacho call. He only looked bad because of that midfield first half. Once we played higher up, much better, says SK. He gave us balance on the left-hand side. What a player we've got in Garnacho anyway. I mean, look, this season for him is his breakout season. He's not meant to be starting games every week. He's, you know, his return has been fantastic. And Fred's just made it 3. It's over. Fred's just made it 3. He slides into the corner. It's the feel-good time at Manchester United. And look, it won't make any difference now. But Fred's done it off the bench, and Manchester United are going to win this game 3-0 now. 3-1 now. We won't write the goal off. We can't quite do that. But mistake at the back. Weghorst fights. Comes to Fred, who slides it home and makes it 3-1. But Garnacho, absolutely fantastic. And Fred getting one off the bench. I said that when he brought him on. He's just got this knack of doing things off the bench. And Manchester United, I said 2-0. We've won by 2 goals in the end. But we are where we are. Oh, look at that. David Moyes. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I'm fuming. I'm massively fuming. I am. I can't even talk. I'm just staring angry. I'm fuming. Oh, I'm so angry. Scooby-Doo, what's going on? I've been winning. I never should have got the sack. I shouldn't be here in the opposite dugout. I'm David Moyes. 3-1. I'm fuming. I'll shake your hand, Eric, but I'm fuming. Absolutely fantastic from Manchester United to turn that round again. 3-1 into the next round of the FA Cup. I'm so pleased. I did not want that to happen. I did not want us to go out. And brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Ultimately, we question the subs. That's what our job is as fans. Look, I think Maguire should have come off. I don't think that makes any difference to the game. But keeping Weghorst on at 10, it worked. And that's why he gets paid the big bucks. He sees these things, he's made too many changes. We've won 3-1 in normal time. Absolutely brilliant. It's coming home, says Chris. Thanks, Chris. Hope you're doing well. Don't forget, we're sponsored by Manscaped. Links in the video description. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. 20% off and free worldwide shipping. Don't underestimate Weghorst's pressing, says Mario. It's very important. Ten Hag keeps telling us about this, and he told us about it with Martial, and people didn't understand that either. We lose such much. Bruno is a machine, says Summit. Well, I'm just so glad we didn't end up in extra time. Anyway, we can discuss all of this. And don't forget to do your player ratings. Links in the video description on this video and on the match reaction. So I'll see you on the match reaction in 1 minute.